And to be fair, it's not even really Jorgensen's fault, is it? Because who picked him? Who picked him? Now, guys, I'm glad to be back. Happy to be back in the chat. Happy to be talking Chelsea again. Obviously, I wish it was in better circumstances, but it's Chelsea. It's the blue way. We just can't make it easy for ourselves. And I want to say this, and I think the panel is going to agree with me. I don't really want to focus on the directors, the recruitment, all this, because at the end of the day, we've said it already. Chalobah's not good enough. Fofana not good enough. And you know what? Can't argue it anymore at this point with myself. I tried to defend Fofana, you guys know, but I can't argue it anymore. So many players in this team, not good enough. But when Fofana and Chalobah are the best that we got, yeah. So you come to learn to accept these things. But there are certain things you can avoid. And when we're having debates about who could potentially be one of our best players of the season, and the name Robert Sanchez gets thrown in there, it doesn't make sense to me to all of a sudden phase him out because of a mistake against Arsenal, another mistake against Arsenal recently as well. And in one of those games, not really being his fault for us losing anyways. Today, and it's so funny because they were both wearing orange. I saw that match yesterday. I didn't watch the match, but I saw the highlights of what happened to Spurs in the first 15 minutes of their game. And I sat there and had a bit of sympathy for Kingsley because, wow, you got put in a situation that you were not ready for, clearly. And you've absolutely... I saw a man's soul leave his body in that game. That man's career is done. But Jorgensen, or should I say your Kingsley at this point?
Huh?
Because this guy looked no different than him. Wow. 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 And it's only... Oh, one could hope. It's only a matter of time till ROSENIOR decides, you know what? This team isn't good enough. I'm just going to play the best that I can play them in and mitigate as many errors. I hope you do that at some point, Liam. Something tells me it's going to take a while. And it annoys me because Maresca already figured this out for you. And you're doing it all over again. So again, Maresca out, right? Yeah. 5-2, people. This tie is essentially over. And if you want to say ROSENIOR out, I don't give a fuck. Say ROSENIOR out. Nothing's going to change at this club. Nothing's going to change with this ownership. Say ROSENIOR out if you want. I'm not going to say ROSENIOR out. I think most of the panel agree. They're not going to probably say, I don't give a fuck. Who gives a shit? What I will say, though, I don't believe in this guy. And I don't think this guy is going to take us anywhere. In fact, Champions League isn't even guaranteed next season. In part due to the recruitment, but I think in part due to the managers and his decisions now. If they're his decisions at that, which I still question if he has full influence on who gets to play, who doesn't. But regardless, that's a whole different debate, right? But I don't believe in this guy. I'm going to make that crystal clear to everyone. I don't believe in ROSENIOR. And you can't even, and Ahmed, I know you're back there. You can back me. Most of you can back me. I have watched PSG games. I had a vested interest in ROSENIOR. I saw, not PSG, I'm sorry, Strasbourg. I've seen what he can do at Strasbourg. I've seen some good games from him. And you can see there's a manager there. But I always said when he came into this club, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. But I don't think he's ready. And that's the one thing that worries me. He's got good football, but I don't know if he's ready. And you can tell this guy's not ready for this level. You can't set up a defense. So you go for the attack. But at least Maresca had a somewhat defensively more sound than this. We kept some good clean sheets, some consistent amount of clean sheets, actually. The month of November was relatively good. I think the month of November, we only conceded 1 goal for the whole month, maybe. We were able to mitigate our defense there and the errors that we were committing. We were more sound. The attack did struggle, but we were able to at least win some games or keep it close like this. But we're wide open with this manager. And it doesn't help that these center backs are not good enough either. But yeah, I have zero faith that we're going to run it back at the Bridge, where we have not been that good, by the way, this season. I don't believe we're going to come back to the Bridge and score 4 goals to get us into the next round and keep a clean sheet at that. So I don't know about you guys, but this kind of gives me Graham Potter vibes. Just the way we're crashing out of the UCL. And yeah. Season's is over. And I mean it this time. Fuck the FA Cup. We're not going to do anything on that. We're not doing anything in the UCL. We're essentially eliminated today. And we'll be lucky if we make it into UCL next season. So that all being said, first off, because I forgot to do it, big up to RSM. Thank you so much for the raid. If you guys came from the RSM raid, come on through. Welcome back to Casually FC. Let's get this show on the road, guys. Smash up the likes. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And if you haven't done so already, check out memberships. Big up the panel. Sorry to keep you waiting, but yeah, man. I think my hopes and dreams were buried today. Under 5 goals. So yeah.
No,
it is what it is.
You know, you're right, Marshall, and like ultimately, like you said, the season is finished, like it's done, because we like today answers, not even necessarily just like fully answered. It was a case of like we kind of knew this a little bit, but I think today was the nail in the coffin of this. Like we can't win big games under this manager, at all, because of certain things that we'll get into. But yeah, like we have no chance of winning cups because you have to. If you're going to win the cup, you have to either be incredibly lucky with your run, or you have to be able to beat 1 or 2 big teams here and there, right? Mm-hmm. The run we've been lucky in the FA Cup, that remains to be seen. Everywhere else is just not good enough. And we're not able to beat an Arsenal, and I don't even think we'll beat City. That's coming up. We've got United as well. We'll see with all of those games.
No.
But yeah, just a complete, as JC put it, self-sabotage today. Like I was already had my doubts about this manager in terms of how I viewed him. Like I'm not him in or out. I don't care. Like I legit don't give a shit. Like he's gone in the future anyway. He's not a long-term Chelsea manager. Who cares? He won't be here in 18 months. No one's going to give a shit. But from my point of view, I look at it and go, okay, we got rid of Maresca and he was doing some bullshit. As much as I like Maresca, he was doing some bullshit. Yeah, he was. What's ROSENIOR going to do that's going to change? Cool. Number one, the thing that what's it called? The thing that Maresca was doing was the lack of trust in players. Whether it was Santos, Hato, whether it was Josh, whoever, right? Cool. What the fuck's now changed? We saw an initial trust from certain players, Santos, Hato, not even Josh, but certain guys. But in the big moments, in the moments where, you know, they, like, certain players could play, you decide to revert to type. You do what's it called? You do what Maresca did. So you're no different. Santos has one bad game. After being our best midfielder since Rossinior's come in, he's relegated to the bench. Yeah. Relegated to appearances against Wrexham. Hato does really well in games, and I'm not even saying he should play today, but Hato does really well in games. We see him with really good moments. Wrexham was our best player, and I'm going to touch on Wrexham a little bit because we obviously didn't get a chance to talk about it, and I was vexed after that game because some of what I'm saying links to Wrexham. But Hato, our best player against Wrexham, gets taken off for fucking no reason for Gusto. For literally no reason. You default back to the same fucking centre-backs of Tossin and Badiashile over Sarr. Gusto's at right back again and got ruined. He had first Barcola and then Kvaratskhelia had him on strings. Fuck the goal for a second. It was a nice goal, but fuck the goal for a second defensively, which is why I ask of a defender. He got ruined. He got rinsed by two different left wingers today. He sucked. He was terrible. The guy next to him was even worse than him, but he picks him still. We had a debate, Marshall, and we're going to continue said debate. It's going to happen again. And I told you, you cannot tell me that Josh and Sarr and these men are worse than Fofana. You cannot tell me. And I've been proven right on that. You cannot tell me they are worse. Josh was our best centre-back at the start of the season. Up until the point at which he got dropped when Fofana came back as being fit, he was our best centre-back by a mile. I'd rather play Josh and Sarr over Fofana. What is the point of him? 200k a week for that? It's pathetic. Yeah. Absolute pathetic. And then the creme de la creme, the cherry on top of the shit cake. Your one of your shining lights of the season as a club is Robert Sanchez. I can't believe those words just came out of my mouth. But one of your shining lights of the season is Robert Sanchez.
Huh?
He has been arguably he's top 3 for me in player of the season. Yeah. He's not player of the season because I think there's one or two guys ahead of him, but he is up there in the case for player of the season. He has been, in terms of stats, the second best goalkeeper in the Premier League this season in terms of clean sheets and all that stuff. You, for no fucking reason, decide when you come in that you have to have your system. Your system is king. Remember when that was a problem when it was Maresca? Because it was at times. Now it's Rossinior, it's still a fucking problem. You had a goalkeeper who you know wasn't good on the ball in terms of certain areas. You wanted to limit his touches, limited the amount of time he was pressed, limit the amount of time he was at the edge of his box or outside his box. You decide to change that, and in 2 games against Arsenal, have him as the dictator. At the first game, he was the only reason we lost, and the second game, I don't think he was the reason we lost, but he was still bad. Coincidentally, it's the 2 games you've asked him to do that role. Instead of changing it to accommodate one of our best players, you ruin his confidence, then drop him for no reason, then do this bullshit about there's no number 1. How's that going for you, mate? Then you bring Jorgensen in, who was the reason we lost today. Because 3 of the 5 goals we conceded down to him.
That reminds me, I forgot to show you guys something. Hold on, this will make everything better. Check it out.
Rossinior is the reason we lost today. He is the reason we lost today. He's 100% number 1. He's played in the league game and the Champions League game. Robert Sanchez has played in the FA Cup game against Wrexham.
Wait, this came after today? Yep. Like the game we just played?
Before. This is before the game.
I want to know.
Rossinior is the reason we lost this game. There's no one else to blame. You can blame Jorgensen, who played him, who picked him, who picked the guy that we know is not good. We know he's a dog shit shot stopper and he's overrated. Because as good as he is in terms of actual passing, the thing that he lacks, like Sanchez, is the mental side of it. You see with the Vitinha goal, and you see with the other moments in the game, he gets frazzled so easily. So even if his passing is good in terms of he can hit the long passes, he can hit the passes between the lines. The moment his brain gets frazzled, the moment someone gets in his head, all goes to pieces. So the passing doesn't matter anymore. That's what happened today. This game is on Rossinior fully, and I think it shows. This game, all 3 Arsenal games, and the first half against Napoli, we will not win big games with this guy because he overcomplicates it or shits his pants.
Did you see Jorgensen and Reece James today as well?
What? No,
What?
I don't remember.
Right, the players are clapping the away fans, right? Because they've travelled. Reece James is
Oh, yeah, I
telling
saw that.
Jorgensen. Reece James is telling
Oh
Jorgensen.
my god,
Oh
we
my-
don't care, man.
No, he ignored
I
mean,
Reece
come
James
on.
and walked down the tunnel. He ignored Reece James. I think he's done after this.
Yeah.
You
I
ignored the
think so, too.
captain.
I'm a keeper. Real.
None of you saw, did you?
Yes, I did. I
I didn't
see it.
see
It was already online ages ago. But thanks for that,
Ages
Chris.
ago, like, it just
Fam,
happened like 20 years ago, so.
Thanks, Chris, for the great update, Chris. You
No,
know, I
no,
really
no,
appreciate that.
Ahmed. I'm not doing this, bro. We're not
you ignored the
sarcasming.
captain.
We're not gonna
You know
sarcasm
why?
the
You
pain
You
away.
know what? Yes,
you
you are.
know it's
Yes.
true. You know that's a
Marshall,
problem.
come here,
Dude,
again.
look at that
Marshall.
guy's attitude. Look at what
Marshall.
Enzo had to do to put him in his place.
Marshall, stop being a prick and listen to me.
How was he being a prick?
Okay, Marshall.
Hey.
Okay, I don't care if you give me a yellow or red. I don't give a shit. Because you of all people should know.
I'm back from Las Vegas, man. I'm a prick
Listen,
now.
do you know me? Who did I want to set Jorgensen at this football club? Was I advocating?
No,
for
I'm never
Jorgensen
saying
at this
that.
football
We're not
club?
saying you are,
No,
though, are we?
but I
No,
don't.
one
The
said
reason
that.
why I
We
don't
didn't
care
talk about
anymore.
you.
The reason why I'm saying this is because the reason why I'm saying I don't care is because I don't care about the player. This is sadly an inevitability of all of these signings that have happened at this football club. We're playing bums. That's it.
So
What
we
do
don't
you
know,
I
mean?
get it, but it's
Like,
just
hang on a minute.
please have the
Hologram.
decency of
Guys,
respect.
we are playing bombs. Jorgensen, bomb. Correa come back from injury. Looks like a
Who
shadow of
started
himself.
Jorgensen? We have
Wait, no,
Sanchez.
Kukurea
I know who
wasn't
started
the far of the
Jorgensen.
worst than today, though. Like,
You
we
know-
had Kukurea next to Kukurea.
Listen, Kukurea looks like a shadow of himself. That's my boy.
Yeah, that's true
He's
too.
cooked.
Right?
He didn't look
Yeah,
great, but like,
he is
we
cooked.
had way
He's
worse
cooked.
battles.
I'm gonna keep it
He's
real.
cooked.
He's cooked.
We
You
had
then
no
listen.
Ryan.
You
At
then you
this
listen.
point, Hot
And
Toes
then
better,
and
bro.
then you've got
Yeah.
Tweedle, fucking D, and Tweedledum. I have never rated Chalobah in this football channel. I have not. I have consistently told you I don't want Chalobah in my team. But yet the streets
Correct.
are here telling me, oh, Chalobah's been good recently. Chalobah, ha. Ever since he cut off his dreadlocks, he's looking good. Brother, he's still ass. He's still
bro.
cheeks.
Stinks, bro. He stinks.
Ahmed, you know who Kukurea surrounded by, though? He was surrounded by Fafana, Chalobah,
No, Chris. The
those
Kukurea
players
point.
around him. What can you really do, like, going forward?
Listen,
when
I
you've got
want
Neto
you to
by
understand.
When-
Listen,
what can you really do
no.
defensively when you've got two bozos
Chris,
defending by you?
this is no disrespect to Kukurea. I'm just
I
being
know you're not
it's
disrespecting
objective.
really. I do agree he wasn't perfect,
guys-
but like,
Yeah,
Go on.
I
You guys,
then
remember-
what if we just drop a bomb on our entire backline? What if we just blow up the entire backline? We're
I would have to
arguing
do that.
about. I don't say we're arguing.
Put some
Oh no!
dynamite out
But
there,
this,
man.
oh
everybody was
my
shit.
god, oh
I'm
my
catching up
god,
to chat. I'm catching up. To chat. I'll get it.
don't Marshall. The last comment cannot
I'm
be put
telling
up on the
you,
dream.
send them. Send them.
Oh,
what to the,
I've already
and what?
said
what?
Neto's nickname. You know what Neto's nickname is for me. Send them. I don't care, bro.
bro, he's washed, bro. Listen, Gusto actually, unironically today.
Gusto side.
He may have
Defensively, he wasn't great.
No,
don't
man,
get me
He
wrong.
was alright today.
Oh, he cheats.
You know, you can see Kibata Skelly cooked him. That's perfectly.
No. I'm not gonna argue this. Gusto was mid. That's it.
Yeah,
He
it was
not-
alright.
not
I'm
the
not
rest
saying-
bad.
That's how bad our
He was
defense
not
is
the
in
rest bad.
this one.
He was not the rest bad.
Yeah.
That whole
Yeah.
backline
But then
was diabolical, bro.
Then there's another guy we need to talk about, yeah, the star man of the team.
Where's
I-
Jorgensen from, bro? Where's
I
Jorgensen
don't
from?
listen,
Denmark.
Mr.
He's
Queef.
Swedish?
Denmark?
Listen,
Deport him. Deport him right now. Deport him right now, bro.
Support who?
okay, Chris
Jorgensen,
can
bro.
handle that for us. He knows the lads in
Thank
certain
you,
pies. And listen, you know, I just, I just want to say, can we talk about Cole Palmer, please? Every week I come back to this fraud. I'm sorry to say, I'm gonna call him a fraud now, bro. He's
Not
washed.
every week, though.
He is. I'm so, bro.
The last game, Villa, he was quite good.
Bro,
so it's not every
he
week.
is rubbish. I'm sorry to say that, bro. Since
I-
he's come
I
back for us,
disagree.
Marshall,
I mean-
with all due respect,
He wasn't brilliant today,
compared
but I
to what
disagree
he
with
was
that.
giving us,
Okay.
compared to what he was giving us, bro, he is rubbish.
But hold on,
not.
like I think that's being a little harsh because today he was double
Okay.
man mark. He was constantly getting fouled.
Okay,
Well,
no,
Jorgensen was passing to him when he was 2v1 down.
Hold up. Can we?
Yeah.
Can we have some structure? Okay, can we get some structure? Otherwise, we're gonna bounce all around the place. We need to start about the reason why we lost the game. Okay, we need to speak about the back line. Because they're the
pretty
reason that the
stark,
entire
yeah.
season we've been losing the game. We can speak about the attack, Ahmed, and I agree. Palmer's been shit for he's been off form. He's been shit. I agree, right? He's had the odd game here and there where he pops up, he looks good again, but the form has been awful, right? But the reason why we are losing these games is not because of our attack. Our attack scored 2 goals on PSG. Okay? Our attack is not the reason we lost today. It is the backline. We need to talk about the backline. We need to focus in and hone in on the criminals and the terrorists in our backline. Okay?
We talk about these Achis every day. He talk about these Achis every day. Me and Scott are like, me and Scott are like LeBron. Me and Scott are like LeBron and Pip. Listen, I want you to understand this,
so
Arsenal. Me and Scott are like LeBron and Dwayne Wade, bro. We cook these guys on a week in, week out basis. Bro, I cook Fofana almost every day on this channel. I cook Chalobah almost
Fofana
every
was
single time
exceptionally
on
bad
this
today,
channel.
to be
Do you know what
You
it
know
is?
No, but
You
like
know where-
the
it's a
main
combination
reason
of
we
both
did
of them, to
lose
be
this is
honest.
because of the
I-
two centre backs and the keeper
Hold up, the goal that
the
Ben
manager.
scored. Okay, hold up. Fair enough. Palmer, he probably should have scored, right? But then Chalobah steps out, gets fucking cooked. Gets cooked.
RSM, as soon as I saw that, I already knew it was a goal. As soon as I saw that, I actually verbally. This is why I need to do watch alongs, because I actually verbally said, "Oh, here we go, we're fucked."
If Chalobah didn't step, it was a 3v2. Chalobah
Yes,
stepped,
and that was Chalobah's man. That
he's a
Fofana had a
clown.
mark.
He's a clown. And then Kukurea is cooked for pace. Kukurea was never making it back.
Yeah,
Maybe
he's
last year
struggling.
Kukurea was making it back there to cover. Kukurea is now cooked. All right. Fofana gets cooked 1v1. What is fucking new? It does not matter to me. Okay. But Chalobah steps out and gets cooked. And then, right, we managed to make it back 2-2. Okay. Our attack is still
Not
looking
average.
good. Let's be honest. Our attack is still making chances. We're still carving through PSG. We were carving through PSG. People are not going to recognize this. Our attack and our midfield was carving through PSG. We were giving them a game. And then Jorgensen. What does Jorgensen do, bro? Jorgensen thought because he had his little aura moments before the game, because even me, bro, again,
Yeah,
bro,
aura moments?
me and Ahmed were there. Where he like, you know, I think it was like Vitinha was gonna try to get the ball from him. He just kind of dummies him. He doesn't.
Oh
move,
yeah,
right?
like fake.
Oh yeah, he completely threw dribbles today, apparently.
Exactly.
Not bad.
Get that clown off my screen. And then he does a little aura moments, right? He does his little aura farming moments for the Instagram. Fair enough. But then he thinks he's him. He tries to, without looking, pass to his left, to his right side, without looking, bro. He didn't even. I watched the replay. He didn't even look. If somebody was coming to press him, he just passed it to the right side, under zero pressure, because he didn't even see the guy coming to press him.
I want to break
He was-
something
he was
so
under-
much, bro. I want to break something right now, bro.
Bro, I nearly
can't-
broke my hand. That
Bro, I'm
last
telling you,
goal
no, I'm
made
telling
me
you.
punch a fucking wall.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, he's a clown, bro. So he doesn't even look. Under no pressure, he passes it. But again, and remember before that, before he even did that. Remember he gave a weak pass. Remember that? I think it was a weak pass to Kukurea in the first half.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
warning signs were
And
there,
Dewey
bro.
intercepted it.
He thinks, and I saw a tweet today, and I agree, bro. The thing with Robert Sanchez is Robert Sanchez knows he's Robert Sanchez. He knows he's shit, right? He knows he's not good enough at that type of shit. But Philip Jorgensen thinks he's fucking Neuer, bro. He thinks he's him. He was trying to orb farm. And then the last goal, bro, the Kvaratskhelia had the goal. What the fuck is up with our keepers and sometimes just turning into holograms? You're not gonna tell me that last goal he shouldn't have saved.
Bro, it's Chris Packet wrist.
Bro,
What
he
is
can't save
that?
shit.
What is
It's
that?
Kappa 2.0.
Break RSM breaking news, bro. This is what he was doing for Villarreal. We all knew
no.
this. Why are we acting like this?
Bro,
This is the way
but
we know what
again-
he does.
No, but again,
the
it's one of
manager
those things where it's
didn't
like,
think
even if we know it's what he does, it's still shit, bro. Like I know Chalobah's
why are we even talking
I know
about your
Chalobah
fucking
gets
manager?
cooked, bro.
RSM, do you know what's annoying? Because
No, and hold up, and I agree, and that is on Rosenier's head top, because Sanchez, if, at the very least, like I said, he knows he's a fucking clown, so he'll just go long because he's shit. He knows he's shit at certain.
I think
times.
Sanchez even saves the first Cavara goal.
but RSM, this is what I
Manu was
say,
actually
and
agreeing on that.
this goes back to the defense, by the way, because the defense is shit, right? But
Yes,
as bad as our defense is, it was bad under Maresca, but Maresca had tried to make our defensive structure better.
Curry,
It was
I'm
just
sorry.
we had crap players. Like our defensive structure, as bad as it was under Maresca, has got worse under Rosenio because he's thought, fuck it,
Yes.
we're just throwing all
No,
defensive
the-
structure out the
the
window.
attack looks better. The attack looks better under Rosenior, but the defense are absolute fucking clowns under this
And,
defensive
I was gonna say,
structure.
and I agree with you about all the defensive in terms of how bad they are, and like the same with the goalkeeper. But you're completely right with the Sanchez. I mean, it's like what I said earlier. We had a system under Maresca with Sanchez where we protected him, right? Like he was only really in and around the 6-yard box. If there was if he needed to make a pass, everyone was like tight to him. So it was an easy pass. He wasn't put under pressure. The moments where he got put under pressure under Rosinio is where he looked bad. So instead of changing it to fit him, you decided to just throw him under the bus, kill his confidence for no reason, by the way. For no reason. So you killed his confidence, and you now got Jorgensen who's shit, and you're killing his confidence because he's just shit, and so he's having these moments. You've decided to take a bunch of shit players. You've taken a bunch of shit players and made the structure around them a million times worse.
Yes.
So they look even worse.
Right.
And this is why I 100% agree with you on the defense as players, but I still put some of that on Rosinio because
it's
you're not
100%
helping
Rosinio,
them.
bro.
Like,
It's 100%
why
because
the
again,
fuck, by the way,
if it ain't broke,
on
if it
the
ain't broke,
Chalobah thing,
don't
by
fix
the way,
it.
that's 100% on Chalobah, but I said this on the watch log. I still put some blame on Rosinio for the Chalobah thing because every centre back has done that under Rosinio. There was a moment, and and CP and the others on the watch log will notice. Why at one point did Fofana press the fucking midfielder into their half while the goalkeeper had the ball? Fofana was off forward, pressing the guy out.
Hold up. There was an even worse moment. There was a moment where we were defending. We're not even attacking. We're defending, right? We're defending in our own half. And Fofana steps out so far, I'm seeing Caicedo center back, bro.
And I'll tell you what, do you know what highlights the defensive structure? The first goal we concede. Because Gusto doesn't know who he's marking. James doesn't know who he's marking.
To be fair, for me,
no one knows who they're marking.
Enzo, that's on Enzo, bro. Fofana was on the guy he needed to be on. Reece James was covering.
That might be on Enzo, but my thing is because even Gusto was marking no one. Gusto was marking air as well. He's just air marking again. He wasn't marking anyone. So he could have stepped up. Enzo could have stepped in. But my point is, it's like the goal we conceded against Burnley from the corner. No one knows who the fuck they're meant to mark. Is that not coached? That's defensive structure and organization. You were a fucking defender. You were literally a fucking defender. You were right back. Can you not coach a defense?
Or was he a defender, really?
Yes, he was a right back.
Wow.
You know, there's another thing to talk about, which is that
I think with Sanchez we lose this game 3-2 and we take it back to the bridge.
I think for me the other thing we need to talk about is
I can put it that simple, bro.
I think the other thing that should be spoken about is that yes, today Jorgensen made those mistakes, right? Even if you had Sanchez in goal, right? There's someone else that's gonna make a mistake, guys. Right? We saw it in this game. Who made the mistake? Who was one of the goals was a mistake by I think it was Chalobah, right? In terms of the under counter, for example, right?
Sure.
The pop, even if Sanchez is in goal, there's still gonna be a mistake that's gonna occur. That's no disrespect to Sanchez, by the way. I'm just making the point that if it's not gonna be the goalkeeper that makes the mistake, someone else is going to make the mistake, right? Yep. Fundamentally speaking, I just think for me, right? I look at the back line. I ask there's no structure there. Sometimes I think the other thing that we should also talk about is the fact that Fofana was pressing all the way at the top, and so Caicedo then has to. Caicedo has to drop it.
Hold on, I just said that. I just said that.
Fofana every single game.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Though, but this is where structure comes into play, right? Because if you guys remember against PSG, Chalobah was doing what Fofana was doing in that game, right? Stepping up to the midfield to press and really put pressure on João Neves and Fabio Ruiz and Vitinha and all these guys. But the thing is, at least every time he wouldn't get the ball, immediately gets back to position, 4 men in the back, boom, organized. We didn't have that in this game. And it's kind of what Ahmed RSM is alluding to, like, and Scott, like, it's just, you could do that, sure, but you need someone to watch your back afterwards. There needs to be organization. You need to cover that gap and then get back into position. Boom, boom. Like, that's, I think, at one point in the first half, you could hear Liam through the speakers saying, get organized, get back to position, whatnot. It gets harder and harder to do that, obviously, as the game goes on because fatigue plays in. But, like, it's just, again, it's just lack of focus,
and again, this is another issue, right? Is not only do we have our backline is trash, right? It's not even like we have a bench to bail us out, and I'll explain why, right? Like, I legitimately said this before the game even started, by the way. Our starting 11 needs to win the game for us because as soon as both teams start reaching for the benches, we're going to lose. I said that. And guess what happened? They subbed on they subbed on Kvaratskhelia in the first sub was Kvaratskhelia, 62 minutes. They scored 3 unanswered goals.
Yep.
And we put on, by the way, imagine if we didn't sub off Joao Pedro for that chance that Delap had. Delap's a clown, by the way. He's useless. He's legitimately useless, bro.
Again,
Like, I would rather.
RSM, you know that shot didn't deflect. He hit that straight off target.
He just he shanked it. He shanked the shot. I know. I thought too, and then I watched the replay. He just shanked it. So my point is, I'd rather be a man down. I'd rather be a man down than play Delap. I'd rather give Mark Gee the number 9 and turn Delap into a water boy than see Delap again touch pitch.
Do you know what's nuts, by the way? Because when the sub happened, Palmer walks off first, and I thought Delap was going right wing. I went, what? It got even worse though because he went up front. And we played with no right winger. But again, as bad as the subs were, and I agree with you, RSM, if our bench is shit, you still could have made better subs than you made. It goes back to the manager. The only way we were scoring in that game was high press counter attack, which is another issue with the system, by the way. But we'll get to it. The only way we were scoring is high press counter attack down the wing, right? So you took off one of our wing threats, whether he was playing good, bad, or indifferent. You took off one of the players who was a threat down the wing to put either no one or Enzo at right wing, which we know doesn't work because we've watched it with our own 2 fucking eyes and it doesn't work. So that failed, right? Number 1. Then the other side of it is the one thing we were doing well is we were pinning Nuno Mendes back with Palmer being there, so he was less of a threat going forward. Because you took Palmer off and either had Enzo or no one at left wing, all of a sudden, Gusto and then James were 2v1 against Barcola and then Kvaratskhelia and Nuno Mendes. So you decided to, for no reason, fuck the balance of the team up, to crowd the midfield, which was the one area of the pitch we were actually doing well in, by the way. The midfield was the one area we were actually dominating, so you decided to crowd it and fuck it for no reason. To then make it so we had no chance of winning that game once the 2 subs came on. The tie was dead the moment we made the subs. It got worse after we conceded. The 2 goals that made it 4-2 and 5-2. So again, I go back to it. All of the negatives we have in this game go back to the manager. All of them.
You know what's crazy though? Even though we can criticize all these Rosenior things, you look at the individual goals we did concede. It's not even like PSG created them.
No,
we just gave them the goals, and this is what pisses me off. Right? Is everything you said is true, right? And all of these weaknesses that Rosenior has shown, right? And all the weaknesses we see in the squad and everything is true, and then it's amplified by 3 billion because we have clowns in these positions.
Yep.
Look at I was listening while I was walking the dog. Somebody, I think,
like, even if we change nothing, just having Sanchez instead of Jorgensen, it's 3. We lose 3-2, and there's still a game.
Yep.
I don't know. We can, as bad as Sanchez fucked it, which he did. Sanchez, we've seen him do that multiple times. So for me, it's one clown for the other. But Arsen, what I was gonna say is, their bench, they bring on who? Kvaratskhelia. We bring on Delap. They bring on who else did they bring on? Do you know where
I'll argue against? By the way, do you know where I'll argue against the bench thing? By the way, because I do agree with you on the Kvaratskhelia thing, but you look at their other subs. Their other subs were Lucas Hernandez, a left back that I think they put in midfield. It was Lee Kang-in, excuse me, who played false 9 when Dembele went off. It was Sini Mayulu was the other sub.
Yeah,
that's the 3 subs they made outside of Kvaratskhelia. Tell me what any of them were doing in the game.
I would take all of those guys over.
But that's the point.
100%. I would. But my thing is, like, these guys are not match winners. They're not amazing. The point is, because of the way the team is set up in a sense of just the whole thing, Lee Kang-in can come in for Dembele, which is a weird sub when you look at it off the face of it, because Dembele had a good game, I think, today. He comes in and it's kind of a weird sub. He didn't really do much when he came on, but it just kind of fits in what they were doing. You know, you bring Lucas Hernandez into midfield, I think, because I think he came on for Zaire Emery, and it's kind of weird because he's not a midfielder, he's a left back. But, you know, it can make sense because he's a decent footballer.
But you know
Sene Mayuna's a good young player. Like, we're bringing on Delap. We're bringing on, like, Lavia in midfield to crowd the midfield. And it's not even, that's not me hating on Lavia, but you didn't need to. You had, and I'm not saying I like him. Exactly. I'm not saying I like Garnacho, but he's in form.
Yeah.
He works with the way we're trying to attack.
The game was open. The game was
Bring
there was
him
space.
on.
The game was calling out for runners, right? Like
By the way, I can't.
We were getting joy. it was it was Neto.
Bro,
Neto and space.
Marquinhos was getting killed by everybody for pace, bro.
Yeah, space.
Yes.
There was
I think- I think
there.
to-
As soon as Lavia came on, I said, "Why is Lavia coming on? This should be." I understand Delap, even as crap as Delap is, but I know Rosenier's got one eye towards Newcastle, and Delap. I mean, and Ja Pedro plays every minute, almost of every game, and he's like, I got that sub, but I was like, yo, bring on wingers, right? Neto just played 120 minutes. Bring on somebody that has pace in behind, and you're gonna get space, right? Plus, Hakimi's not a good defender. He's good going forward, but 1v1, like Garnacho can catch him. At least worst case scenario, Garnacho pins Hakimi back a little bit so that he's got to at least think about the threat in behind. Because other than that, like their goals pretty much all came off of our left side, right? Like our right side, their left side, right? Gusto, Fofana, that side, but. Yeah, that sub, I was like, yo, that's.
Yeah, I want to actually, KG. I think your point is valid in the sense that if you look at the guys, if you look at the quality, if you look at the quality,
it's finished,
of PSG,
bro. Put the gun down, man.
I think we can win. I think we can win the game at home. I don't think we win the tie.
We're not gonna win the tie at the bridge.
You know the ties there.
Go ahead, Ahmed. Finish what you're saying. Sorry.
The point about quality, I think, is a valid point. Look at the guys that were doing the job for them: Dembele, Barcola, and Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah.
Guys,
in the middle.
the guys of real high quality guys. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the point about when we bring up a Delap, we bring up a Garnacho, we bring up even a Pedro Neto in this argument, right?
Yeah.
Are those guys that quality? Do you see what I mean? That is the real gap. That goal, honestly, between Palmer and Dembele, if there's any thing to show you, about what Chelsea and PSG, the levels difference, is that they've got killer. We don't have a killer, bro.
And they've got a world-class manager. We don't have a world-class manager.
I'm disagreeing with some of that narrative. The world-class manager, completely agree with that. I'm sorry, we literally had the same team and we whooped their ass 3-0 with this quality that we're talking about.
Palmer scored. But this is my point, though. It's not.
You could say in some aspects greater or less quality in terms of less quality in defense because Colwell right now is looking like the next coming of Jesus Christ himself right now. The more he is not playing, the more he is literally God reincarnated in the defense. Okay.
Yeah.
But also we had worse quality up front in a sense of we didn't actually no we had João Pedro. Sorry, so we had the same amount of quality. So in terms of
same attack,
goals,
same attack.
We did the job.
The only difference was
so we can talk
Colwell
about
and Sanchez.
Yeah, outside of Colwell and Sanchez, I think it was the exact same team that played against PSG.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it was.
So we can talk about the quality and off the bench, but we also whooped their ass 3-0 in the first half, and we could have destroyed them even more during that game, but we just chilled, right? So I can get it to an extent, and you can talk about killers, but you could say the same thing once again. Dembele had just come off a run where he eventually won the Ballon d'Or where they won the treble, and he had chances in that game too against us, and he flopped it. Right? So then what happened? This year they're doing shit in the league. So is Dembele a killer now? I don't think so. It just happens in that day in terms of for Palmer didn't go in.
What would hit to you there, Corey Parra, is though when his team needed him in this game, he did the job. But then he didn't do the job against the Club World Cup, right?
He did, Ahmed.
I think,
Ahmed, to your point, hold on, just a point, real quick, Oliver.
Palmer too. We could say Palmer hasn't been on form this season. Palmer also wasn't on form at the end of last season.
True. I mean, he wasn't scoring goals. He wasn't getting that many assists. He was creating chances. It wasn't great. But Oliver, what were we going to say real quick before KG jumped?
I was going to say, I'll be honest with you. The Club World Cup final was a fluke. We played PSG 10 times. They beat us 7 times.
Do you think so?
I
think they could. Yes, but I don't know. The way we set up was really good. I thought. The way Maresca set up against big teams.
That's the point that I was going to get to. Maresca's game plan absolutely killed them. That's what it was. That game plan of exposing Nuno Mendes, because the goals came all down the right hand side, exactly the same.
But RSM, that's
it wasn't even just Nuno Mendes. It was that left centre back as well.
That assumes that Enrique is not going to like.
No, that's what I'm saying. If we played that game 10 out of 10 times, right? more likely not, Maresca's gonna do the same thing. And Enrique, his biggest, by the way, one of the biggest criticisms that Enrique gets, even from PSG fans, is that he has one plan. He's been that way. He's been that way since his Barca days. That brother has one plan. He has no backup plan, no B plan. It either works or it doesn't. But because his teams are usually full of quality and he's a good manager, the A plan is really good.
There's 2 points with that though, KG. Jesus Christ, I can't even say your name. There's 2 points. You frustrated me with that statement. But like, there's 2 points with that I disagree with. Like, one, I don't think it's a fluke because if it was a fluke, then I wouldn't have seen these high-end like tactical performances out of this team against Liverpool, against Barcelona, even against Arsenal. We were down 10 men. So to me, I don't think it was a fluke because I do think there is actually like a tactical advantage that Maresca had when it came to these big games, and the team is able to do it, and they were very receptive to the information that he was giving them, right? But the other thing too is that I do believe when you look at today's game alone, PSG weren't even that good either.
Yeah, they scored. What did they score? 5 goals.
Their defense was so disorganized.
Yeah,
They were going band for band with bad defense.
They scored 5 goals on 7 shots. Their last 4 shots of the games were 4 goals, and they didn't generate. They didn't even generate 1 XG.
So here's why I say the Club World Cup is the outlier.
Sure.
Who we have in
outlier,
defense,
yes.
Who we have in defense. Yeah, maybe fluke might have been the wrong choice of words, right? So
also, KG, to your point too, I did want to point this out.
Yeah.
When we played him, they didn't have Pacho. He was suspended.
Right.
So that we took advantage of that as well. Let's not forget that. So to an extent, that's an argument towards saying it was a fluke, right? Like sure.
But Maresca, hold up, but that's my whole point though. Maresca knew that. So look at what side we were playing down. We were playing down Nuno Mendes and that dude's side.
This defense was a lot stronger than the defense that we played against in Club World Cup. Oh, KG, we lose him?
I think his whole, his whole.
I don't even know about that though, Marshall, because they have a worse goalkeeper. They have a worse goalkeeper this season.
Also, they're worse this season than they were last season. They're literally winning the league by 1 point against Lens. Against Lens.
Yeah, no, I mean, they've been riddled with injuries this season, unlike last season. But yeah, it's...
Sure, you can be riddled with injuries, literally have a trouble-winning squad.
But regardless, like, even...
Oh my God, by the way, okay.
Playing devil's advocate.
This is even worse, by the way. So
what's up?
Remember how I said that the last 4 shots they took were all 4 goals?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The first of those last 4 shots came in the 40th minute.
Oh my God.
So from the 40th minute to the 94th minute, they generated 4 shots, and all of those were goals.
The problem...
That's the thing. Scott,
I hear all of this.
Real quick, I'm going to ask you something, Scott. I wanted to ask you this earlier. What happened in the second half? Because that first half, we actually looked like the better team, and we looked like we were going to go on to win that game. We're going to go goal for goal and stuff like that.
The subs.
I wasn't worried about being one goal down. Go ahead, Scott. Sorry.
The only thing I would say, and the only pushback I'd have, because I hear like PSG weren't amazing today. The pushback I'd have though is like, because I know RSM, you said about like all their goals came from mistakes. I've watched our goals back, and like outside of like the Palmer chance, which then they score off of, the 2 goals we score come from mistakes from their end as well. Like, so it wasn't a case of, we were breaking them down amazingly. It was just a case of they had
the Gusto goal. The Gusto one was the Gusto one. I wouldn't classify like the way I classify a mistake is like legitimately like you have given them the ball, kind of shit like that.
Yeah, but like bro, I would argue that's the same for the Kvara goal. The only difference is obviously Jorgensen can save it, but you could argue that for the Gusto goal. Safanov should save that.
Yeah.
That logic.
But again, hold up. But again, that's to my point though. That like at the end of the day, when you look at the XG, when you look at the shots, we had more shots, we had more XG, we attacked more, we created more, we built through them more. A lot of their attacks, right, where they were building up from their own end, didn't result in anything really dangerous. Their most dangerous chances came from when we turned over the ball to them, many times under little to no pressure.
I mean, it was more or less the same with us because the Enzo goal comes from a loose switch to.
And hold up, that's what I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing that our goal didn't come from an air from them too. That's why I said this PSG team isn't invincible. They were not playing a lights out game. But when you concede, that's something. But when you concede, the way that we did, in the manner that we did, right? Like again, the last goal that we concede, Reece is taking a million years on the ball. Why? He gets dispossessed. The team starts now. The defense, which was settled, right? steps forward because Reese is moving up the pitch. Let's move up with him. He now loses the ball. They're on the back foot now.
Yeah.
This is what I mean when I'm saying these are the errors that we are killing ourselves with.
That's
Because
what I
when
was
PSG
saying.
was on the
I
ball
do
building up.
agree with that,
Did
but
not look that dangerous to me.
I do think the way that this game goes, though, I think both teams are going to create chances through the other team's mistakes.
Yeah.
And I think this comes back to the quality thing of if you're going to have two teams make mistakes, and that's basically how you're going to get your chances for the most part, right? What's going to win out is the quality in the attacking third in terms of like when Kvaratskhelia has a chance, or when Barcola has a chance, when Dembele has a chance, they're not missing. Like ultimately, Palmer had a chance, kicks it straight at Safanov. I'm not fully blaming him for it because he got a touch on it, but like that chance within 5 minutes where I think was it James hits the ball across the box and João Pedro gets a touch on it, and takes it away from Neto. It's like, Erling Haaland in that situation. This is a player in João Pedro who's been amazing for us, but like a killer in front of goal potentially gets a touch on that. Like, so I think this is where it goes back to, I think it might have been KG or someone else said about the quality of like, unfortunately, this is where it's like PSG will kill us 9 times out of 10. They'll beat us 9 times out of 10 when we play like this. We go toe-to-toe with it like this.
Scott, I just saw the XG from the game. PSG had less than 1 XG.
That's what we
they did. They had like 9.2, I think, or something.
Yeah, I thought
we had
I
1.7.
saw 0.87. Yeah, 0.87 XG.
Yeah, I saw 1.7 or something like that.
No, so we had 1 point something.
We
had
had
1 point
We had 1
something.
point something. They had
I
under
can't
1.
remember what it was. It was 1, and then PSG I think had 9.2. I want to say it was 9 point something, like 0.9 something. I should say 0.9 something. But I'm not surprised when you see the goals they score. They're low. This is where XG is such a stupid stat though, because they're low XG chances. Like it's a long shot, it's a volley on a weak foot.
Oh my god!
Like it's a long shot outside the box. It's a volley on a weak foot. It's like the Vitinha
Do you
chip
think
outside
Sanchez
the
saves
box.
that, by the way?
No, but the Vitinha,
Yes,
hold up, the
Sanchez
Vitinha,
saves that.
no, the Vitinha,
I
hold up, the
think he does
Vitinha one,
too.
the Vitinha one should be. Do you think Sanchez saves this? I don't know, bro.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think
Even then, with these type of goals, I can live with conceding these type of goals, bro. They're just bangers. It's fine. It's always gonna happen.
It's
Like,
a nice
sometimes
goal, but like
they just
I
get a
think
step. Like, I'll
Sanchez
never.
gets
Yeah, Sanchez definitely saves that.
Sanchez gets his hand on this at the very least.
He's
Sanchez is
6'6",
Jorgensen's
he's got a good
6'2",
diving
Sanchez is
ability.
6'6".
Yeah, no,
I
again, I don't doubt. Again, I don't doubt it. But even if let's say Sanchez was conceded, like I can live with conceding these type of goals, right? The issue is right with the Vitinha chance, for example, he chipped it. That's gonna be a low XG shot regardless, right?
Yep.
But that's my point though. But like the goals that they actually scored were not that high of XG, right? So that means that in the terms of the shots that they did create of their own buildup, they didn't really do a lot. And that's my whole point. We gave them the game. That's what it is for me. And they had enough quality to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Which is fine. That's where their quality shown over ours, right? But they did not create that. They did not press the hell out of us. I don't think we struggled massively in the buildup either. There was in that first half, you can tell me if I'm wrong. We were playing some really good football, bro, to get out of the press.
Yeah.
It was really, really nice. Amazing link up.
On the left side with Enzo.
I don't know whether this is
Neto,
ironic or
Correa.
not. To me, it's ironic considering the choice. I think the biggest issue we had in build-up was the goalkeeper. Like, in terms of the build-up out of the back line, like, once the ball got to the centre-backs or the full-backs and the midfield, it was fine. The biggest issue we had in build-up was the moron in goal. Like, he was the one making it a problem.
No, hold on. Same shit Monaco fans said probably. But that's the point, though. Because they said that because they knew that their team played the better performance, but they didn't have the quality to kill PSG. This is our issue.
I don't
better
think-
team, but again, it's not that crazy to say that. Again, going forward and attacking was not the issue this game. We are still scoring goals. I think the last time we got shut out.
With Palmer on the half turn, I'm going to cut him a little bit of slack because bringing it back to the goalkeeper being the biggest issue in the build up today, like primarily with Jorgensen's day, sending hospital passes into players that are marked 2v1. Palmer couldn't turn; he was double marked.
And even Jorgensen, like, brother, you can punch the ball into players, right? Like the weak passes. They weren't even like hospital pass in the sense like, oh, it's a bad pass. He was sending bad passes at low pace. It was insane to watch sometimes.
The one to Caicedo at number 2 was very light, and Caicedo.
And the worst thing is, it works sometimes. So he gets this confidence, and then it bites him.
No, but this is the thing. I don't think it's a confidence thing with him. Like, I think it because we saw in this game, he gets frazzled easily. I think it's
Like,
just a
look at
case
this.
of
There's people right there. Why Gusto's right there? If you're gonna chip it, Gusto. Even Fofana.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Fofana's an easy option there, but
Just hit it long. Like JP was winning every like football off the pitch against Pacho.
Yep.
And the problem was the Neto and Palmer were so spread out that JP had nobody to link with.
On this start, why isn't Jorgensen backpedaling to his line as well? Like, he just freezes.
I don't know. It's because Oliver. It's because he panics. Again, it's a mental.
Because he gets frazzled, like you said.
This is why, by the way,
He's
everything you
thinking
see here,
get
and
wide
everything
because
Daisy just said is
you
why
know.
this idea that he's good with the ball at your feet is overrated, right? Because part of being good with the ball at your feet is your long passing as well. Like the reason
Sanchez
why
clears with long passing.
I think the reason why Ederson, the reason why Jordan Pickford and guys like this get ratings for their ball playing, and I think they are good ball playing goalkeepers, is not just the short passing, it's the long passing as well. It's the fact that Jordan Pickford with a long kick can pick out a guy on a dime 40 yards away.
Curious.
Like in that situation, when you can't necessarily pass to Gusto, right? Because the guy can maybe cut you off. You can't make that pass like fizz it into whoever you try to. I think it was Palmer. There's nothing wrong with pinging that on a dime. If you're so good at playing with the ball at your feet, there's absolutely nothing wrong with pinging that on a dime to the striker to hold the ball up. You know he's got the ability to. His long passing is so overrated. Like all he wants to do is
I'm actually looking
we don't even have
right
to
now. Do you guys?
We don't even have to look at
any long passing.
We don't even have to look at a Pickford or an Ederson, by the way, because Sanchez can do that. He's got assists this season from doing that. He literally got a pre-assist against PSG in the Club World Cup final from doing that.
Yeah, but Sanchez though, that's once every like 10 balls. 3 or 4 of those are going out of play. Like he's like.
Oh no, he's gotten that might have been the case in the past. He's gotten better at it. I've seen it.
We can hammer Jorgensen for how he basically threw the tie away with this moment right here, but we can't run Sanchez prop. Like I don't want to hear.
I'd rather please kick the ball out. Please kick the ball out of play instead of conceding a chip. Like please,
bro. I need to read these passing stats.
No, Scott, I was about to point out.
God.
Because I was curious how many long passes he had today. Because I remember specifically in that PSG game, there were moments, thanks to Sanchez's long passing, to expose that high line and to find Gusto running down the wing or Palmer running in behind into the space, which we were kind of trying to do at some points in this game. Neto's he had some space to run in behind. But that pass wasn't on. Where I remember with Sanchez, that pass was on. Sanchez would give you that pass because it was a space. You don't have to be so accurate in the space. You have to ping a pass, just get it into the space, and he was doing that. With Jorgensen, I didn't notice much of that. I mean, remind me if I'm wrong, there may have been a moment or two, but the long ball passing stats that I'm seeing right now is 10 out of 23. And Scott, feel free to share the rest of them that you're seeing.
Bro, yeah, it's 43% passing accuracy from long balls.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, from when I've checked it for Sanchez last season, when he was bad,
around 50s,
and I was checking it regularly, he was never that bad with his long passing. He was never that bad. Bro, passes in opposition half accuracy, 42%. His passing accuracy in totality was 71. That's Sanchez at his worst last season. Was the low 70s, high 60s. Bro, that's unreal. That's unbelievably bad.
Yeah.
But can I just say something? Okay. Again, we are comparing Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Yes.
It's just that is just the reality of the situation here, guys. I don't understand why we need to do these comparisons. Yes, I understand Sanchez has had a solid season, but generally speaking, guys, it was not just 2 games ago. Yeah. I forget the game that it was. The reason why he got actually, what's it called?
It was Arsenal.
It was against Arsenal, where he just made another error.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have to.
We can't do this. We can't do this.
Let Ahmed finish.
Wait, and the reason why I'm bringing that argument up is because I'm not saying that Sanchez has not been consistent. Yes, but at the same time, there have been big games where Sanchez has also let us down. That is the reality of the situation, in my opinion. Okay, the problem, yes, would we have gotten a 3-2 game with Sanchez? Yeah, probably. But again, that does not negate the fact that we have other guys that cause issues, other guys that cause problems for us, other guys that love to make mistakes.
Yeah. Scott, I just looked it up. Sanchez has 33% long passing accuracy this year. So like we can criticize again. We can criticize Jorgensen, but Sanchez is just as crap. The only thing is we just haven't seen it in the last 2 big games because he hasn't played. Like I'm much more nervous when Sanchez has the ball at his feet than when Jorgensen has.
But most
it.
times,
I disagree with that a lot.
A lot of times the season is just
Sanchez knows when to clear it.
People know my thoughts on Sanchez generally. Like, I don't rate him highly, but like even at all. But we cannot deny this season he has been consistent. He's been one of the best goalkeepers in the league. We like, regardless of whether we want to accept that is the truth. He has been one of the best goalkeepers in the league. He still has a mistake in him 100%, but we had a system that was set up around him to limit the mistakes on the ball. He's gone back to old Sanchez for
because
2
we're setting
reasons.
him up how we used to set him up. Exactly.
I'll say there's 2 reasons. Number one is Ben Roberts has come back.
Yes. Smash like people.
Ironically, by the way, Ben Roberts has come back as a goalkeeping coach, and our goalkeepers have got worse. I wonder why. Secondly, is the 2 worst games he's had under Rosenior. Both came when Rosenior wanted him to be the dictator and get a million touches on the ball and be the guy who was going to play out from the back, which he notoriously can't do, and it's why Maresca stopped doing it with him.
No, Scott. What about
why Deserby sold him?
His clearance. What about his cross collection? Sanchez's his positioning is horrible. That Wrexham goal that we gave up, where everybody was criticizing Tosin. Watch what Sanchez does on that. He takes 2 steps forward.
Which goal?
With a normal keeper is supposed to come out there and put his foot through that ball and kick it into Rose. He takes 2 steps forward and comes back. The Arsenal corner where his positioning is wrong. He's fighting with these guys before it. He doesn't even get a hand to it. Like, look, I get it. Like, Sanchez is definitely the better of two evils, if that's the phrase to use. But
sure,
we can't run this prop like Sanchez is a good goalkeeper. I don't like.
I think in the summer
he's a good shot stopper and cross claimer, but everything else he has to do.
No, I 100%. But my thing would be, I agree, and it's why in the summer I still want a new keeper. But right now we're in a position you can't change the squad. Play the best players. Like, it's the same reason for the centre back thing. Like, they all kind of suck.
It's either
they all suck,
or Sanchez is gonna fuck up.
That's fine, but we've seen Jorgensen in. Do you know what's nuts? In the limited time we've seen Jorgensen play in comparison, we've seen almost as many fuck ups from Jorgensen in the small amount of time he's played.
If you're to take the average or the performances, they're about.
By the way,
he was conceding weak goals in the Conference League.
I was about to say, and the Jorgensen time was in the Conference League, and he was still looking like a bum.
He dropped the ball into the net against Aston Villa.
So KP, I agree with you, and I think long term we do need a new keeper, whether that's Penders or whatever. I'm saying for this season though, you have to play the best players who are available. Sanchez has to play because the option behind him is worse. Going forward, that needs to change 100%. The same with the centre backs. No one is. I'm not sat here right saying that Sarr and Achimpong and these guys are going to be incredible. But if I'm going to watch Chalobah be a moron, I'm going to watch Fofana reek every week at this point. He stinks of piss. Yeah. I'd rather just watch Sarr. Sarr might make a mistake. I'm calm with that.
I agree.
I'd rather watch Achimpong. He's 19. He's going to make mistakes.
I agree with what Scott said.
Hold on. CP, what were you going to say? Because you've been trying to get a word in.
I'm sorry for this season. He has been a good goalkeeper. He's literally been statistically top 3 in this league. That could say a lot about the quality of this fucking league in terms of goalkeeping. That could say a lot about global football and goalkeeping. Sure, that's fine. I understand. We've had Petr Cech and Thibaut Courtois and Mendy.
We have to talk in relative terms.
I get it. But for what it is in this generation, he's been good for this season in particular. The fuck-up that Jorgensen has had in this game alone has been more than Sanchez has had in the past 3 months.
That's actually really
true. In this
one
game alone, he counted for 3 goals. And if you're telling me Arsenal, sure, and Wrexham, sure, that's 2 separate games, not 1 game. And also, Jorgensen was very shaky against Villa as well. It's just we got very lucky and we were banging in goals.
Bro, during Villa, there was a shot that me and Ahmed both looked at each other because he saved the shot and then immediately spilled it into danger. He was able to get over it, but me and him were like,
right, I remember this.
The
cross cleaning. And if you're talking about, hey, Jorgensen on the ball, I'd rather you lose the ball higher up in the pitch for a throw-in near the halfway line when Robert Sanchez boots it up.
And I think
Jorgensen spilling it right in front of the box like he did today, and he has done actually a few times in the Conference League last season.
I think the point.
I think, by the way, sorry, just before you go on, I think the conversation we're having and what I said about like Sanchez and whatnot, and I think this goes back to a point I made earlier, and I kind of want to reiterate it. One of my biggest issues with Rosinio, and there's been a few, especially the last couple of games.
Yeah.
You have certain guys, we know they're shit, right? I don't rate Garnacho, I don't rate most of this team. Yeah. But you don't make it easier for them when you play them in positions and you play them in systems and you play them in a way that they're going to fuck up. No one was going to... It's going back a while. Delap was never going to play good right wing. Why the fuck did you use him there? Enzo's not a winger. Stop playing him there. You know? Like, Gusto's not a winger. Stop fucking playing him there. Yeah. Like, if Sanchez and Jorgensen are not good in certain situations, if the centre-backs are not good in certain situations, stop playing them in a way where you're going to expose them. Because all it's going to do is make them look worse. You're going to look stupid. Like, it doesn't help anyone.
Bro, Maresca already learned that lesson.
He had his faults. Yes. Yeah, Maresca had his faults. He would try and find ways to mitigate certain guys who had faults to try and have less faults. It didn't always work.
People forget. When Maresca came in, he said, if you play it long, I'm dropping you. And then he realized that both keepers are bums and allowed Sanchez to just start playing long.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Go ahead.
I think, listen, no one is denying that Sanchez has been good for us this season. I think all of us here have been giving credit. But
he's in the running for player of the season, bro. I still think that's the truth.
Yes. But at the same time, yeah, I'm not... I think it's also fair to be objective in here and say that Rosinio was right to drop him after the Arsenal game. I don't think that's anything wrong with it.
But he should have done it after the Arsenal game, though.
But hold on. I meant to build off of that.
That was... No. The point I'm making here... 1 second. He obviously... Then we had the Aston Villa game, obviously, which was after the Arsenal game, if I'm not mistaken, right? And then the FA Cup game, right? Now, I think, again, in general, him playing against PSG was a big call on the manager. I think for me, this is where I think for me, you have to then look at the manager here and be like, you know, you took that risk. You then have to own that risk. Okay?
Yeah, you have to.
That's the point I think we should be looking at there. I'm not, again, Sanchez playing, not playing. We can all have agreement and disagreement about how much of an effect it's gonna have, but realistically, probably would have been to the positive degree. I think
that's why in the beginning of the show I said I can't really blame Jorgensen that much because he was selected. He was put in that position against PSG of all teams to try to regain confidence. I think what annoys me is that, again, we don't have to go through this again. About, like, first of all, I don't think it's even Tweedledum. Like, it's just clear that Sanchez is the better keeper out of the both of them. There's no real comparisons. We've seen it multiple times with Jorgensen. He makes just as many errors, if not more. But it's again, like, just play your best team. Just put your best foot forward. Like, what you said before about, you know, getting dropped after the Arsenal team. Like, in a normal team...
I disagree with that.
I disagree with it too. Because in a normal team, like, if this was peak, you know... treble winning Man City and Ederson made a mistake 2 games in a row, you drop him for Ortega. I get that because that's the standard, right? You need to be as perfect as possible, and if not, you lose your place. And Ortega was a good backup keeper to an extent.
He was of a level to step in.
But unfortunately, at Chelsea, we don't have that. Because the other guy is just as much as a bum. Like, even with the whole Vicario and Kinski thing yesterday, I know Vicario's not good. But this Kinski guy, if that's how he plays, what the fuck were you even thinking, Tudor? So that's the way I'm looking at. That's why I'm looking at Liam. This is the way I am, and saying, under normal circumstances, you're right, Liam, to drop him. But this is not a normal circumstance. You're in Chelsea, and the other backup keeper, if you had done your homework, which I keep complaining about with him, you already know he's just as bad.
Marshall, where I disagree with Ahmed is, I'm fine with him being dropped if you think he needs to be dropped for a poor performance. The game to do that in was the first leg. Because, like I said earlier, I don't think for the game against Arsenal, one where he was bad that he was dropped for, he was bad. I don't think it was why we lost. Yeah. I think, like, the corner that he's bad on and just everything, to me, that's not his fault. He's not good. I'm not saying that he wasn't bad for it. I don't think it's his fault. It's why we concede. That first leg against Arsenal, he was the reason we lost. He was responsible for basically every goal we conceded in that game. He was the reason why we lost. If you
And he
needed
put us
to
under
drop
pressure
him,
building up the back. I remember.
I'd say that was bad. If you wanted to drop him after that game. That would make sense because he was literally the reason why we lost.
That's
you
my only
didn't.
criticism. Is he why
You
drop him
didn't
right
drop
now?
him that game when you could have done. That would have been understandable.
Correct.
You decided to drop him after another game where he was bad, but he wasn't the reason we lost for no reason. In a moment as well where, like, so the game after you drop him, we've got basically a rival for top 4 in Aston Villa. We've then got Wrexham, who cares, and then we've got 2 games against PSG and a game against Newcastle. So you've thrown Jorgensen kind of in the deep end, similar to what Tudor did yesterday with Kinski, for no reason. You didn't need to do it. This is a guy who was barely played up to this point. He's basically just played cup games. He ain't even played friggin' Champions League games. He just played cup games. You throw him in the deep end for no reason. You didn't need to do it. It's now not working. It's fully on you because you didn't need to do it.
And now you have to firm it. By the way, you have to firm it now because you've shown your hand.
He now has to play against PSG because if he doesn't play,
if you can't bring Sanchez back in, Sanchez doesn't trust it anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's how goalkeepers are.
When you kill his
I think
confidence.
this is
Yeah, but like
you
again,
killed his confidence for no reason. You have to back it now. You have to stick with Jorgensen.
Yeah, I get that, and I think, and I agree with that. But listen, he made that choice. He has to die of that. Listen, you live by the sword, you die by that sword. That's it, man. He's lived by. Listen, he's living by it and dying by it.
We did more than die out there tonight.
Then that's
Can I be honest? Can I be honest? We were already dead. That's the rule.
We died.
We were already dead.
Let me not say that.
We were already dead. We were already dead.
We weren't already dead.
We were already dead.
Danish, I agree with you. By the way, like,
we were already dead.
I'm gonna be honest. Sanchez needs to play the next 2 games, but the problem you've got if you're a senior, and this is why he's an idiot, is you are damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if you decide to flip again back to Sanchez, like I said, you killed his confidence for no reason for an experiment that didn't work. You didn't have to do. If you then decide to back it like you kind of should do, you're playing the worst of the 2 keepers and potentially just throwing away a tie and throwing away games in the league because you're an idiot. And like I said, this comes back to him, and it's stupid shit like this and stuff he did against Wrexham that's pissing me off, and it's why I'm not him in or out because I don't care because he will not be here.
Talk about what he did versus Wrexham. Like Wrexham was always
no. Some of the shit he did against Wrexham for some of these players was bullshit because he's a
everybody
coward.
did that shit. Arsenal did the same bullshit against Mansfield. Everybody rotated in midweek. When you have
I'm not talking about
rotations.
I'm not talking about rotating. I'm calm with him rotating. I want him to rotate. I'm talking about the fact of it's more the guys against Wrexham. It's the guys he subbed off. It's the guys instead of backing it and like, okay, you quite clearly can see some of these guys are not good enough. Some guys are having good games. Why did Hasso not play 90 minutes? Why did Sarr not play longer? Why did who else did he take off? He took off guys for no reason just to back these shit players. Like Tossin played for 90 minutes, cool, for what fucking or however long he played, 120 minutes. Buddy and Shield was the same for no fucking reason, despite the fact they both stank. They reeked of piss and were responsible for multiple goals we conceded. Like, you could have kept Josh on the pitch, even though he wasn't great as a right back, as a right wing back, basically. He still scored the goal.
Remember how long it took for João Pedro to
immediately. That whole game, other than that goal, like that's not.
Yeah, but then you could have.
Like, again, you want to build these guys' confidence. You want to build these guys up. No, you just want to kill them, bro.
Are one of our biggest weeks of the season. It's get the result. Don't care about the performance. You move on. That's all Wrexham was.
But your stars and your Joshes aren't going to play in the Premier League.
When you have
what's the point of having all these young players?
Champions League week, midweek, every big team is going to say, you know what, bin the FA Cup. Because I'll be honest with you, no one really cares about the FA Cup.
No, but we're saying
I don't care about the rotation.
We don't care about the rotation. What we're saying
why are you killing guys' confidence? Play the guys. Like, if you're not going to play Josh and you're not going to play Sarr in those moments for 90 minutes, what's the fucking point of them being here? Because they're not playing.
That's what you're saying. You might as well play Sarr and Josh.
They're not playing any games. What's the point of them being here? What's the point of any of this?
Because KG, the reason why I'm saying this is, okay, Josh didn't have a good game in terms of that. But Badishil is worse. He's older and he's shit, right?
Oh, I agree. Both
right.
of
So
those
what we're saying is in that situation, if you still wanted to sub on Gusto, put Mamadou Sarr on left center back and put Josh as right center back. So at least you give these kids more game time, and you still have Mamadou at right back, right? Like, take out, like, we're not saying they had to start week in, week out. We're saying Batty Shield is shit. Why don't you realize that? Tossin is shit. Why don't you realize that?
Yep.
Young kids.
Yeah,
so
it's
they
always
can-
the young kids that are getting scapegoated and getting the taken
So
off.
you can still
don't wanna-
rotate.
don't-
and play the young
when he's
stuff.
fit.
I don't care about the rotation. I'm glad he rotated.
Exactly.
That was the right decision. You're like,
You
I'm
know,
not
no, I
calling
think,
for
I
rotation,
think,
like-
listen, like again, guys, yeah, to use a word from someone on this channel, maintaining value. Are we maintaining value by playing Benoit Badi's
Hey,
show?
fuck you, Marshall, for that.
Are
bro.
we
Fuck you.
maintaining value?
I'm not going to, Marshall, you're never out. You're not out.
Are we maintaining value by playing Tosin Adarabioyo?
You can't give him a red. You can't give him a red for your stuff. This is you.
See?
No.
No, this is wrong.
Casually racist is back. Casually racist is back. Here we go.
Hey,
No.
Whoa!
I'm kidding. It's clearly a joke.
I'm just
But
gonna-
no, hold on. Let me also remind you who kept, jiggling Batty for fucking Liam Delap this season, okay? So I'm not the only one that had some howler takes, all right? And in terms of Sanchez, I was right about that. That just doesn't, translate to every player.
I just want to get to the point of since he's talking about his great takes, let's talk about Marshall having a direct line to the sporting directors because he has the shittiest takes out of all of us. So let's go through all of them right now. First of all,
You guys just love to remember my bad takes, but you don't love to remember my good ones. You don't love to remember my good ones.
Bro, he's kicking your ass.
I think for me,
Just remember what I said about Donnarumma and look at the highlights tonight, okay? Just remember.
At least Donnarumma West Sanchez.
we're fine with
Okay,
Sanchez.
but you don't want to call out my good takes, but okay.
Donnarumma, Marshall, by the way, where's Donnarumma? Where would you rank him in the Premier League right now as a keeper?
Behind Sanchez.
Behind
You
Sanchez,
think?
probably.
In terms
yeah.
of
You
on
think?
in terms of
No,
on
Chris,
form,
you are
in terms of
so invested in this. Like,
He is-
okay,
no,
hold on. I need to point something out today.
He's been by far the best.
The only reason most of us, chat, whatever, are gonna notice that Donnarumma had a howler today is because City lost, and he was the reason those goals were there, right? When you watch City, almost all the games he has howlers like that, but he gets saved. They don't get punished. He got punished today. So he's been playing like this most of the season, but no one
was gonna say,
believes
yeah,
me.
depending
No
on-
one
depending
watches
on
him.
when you-
I think he's been their player of the season.
I
so
think
far.
he's been one
You
of the
could
top
make that
players, yeah.
argument, sure, yeah.
I think if
Two things can still be true, KG. That's the thing. Two things can still be true. He's definitely helped that defense out a lot because of the experience and the confidence and the shot stopping, which I never denied he was not good at those things. But when you look
never
at
denied
the
his bad,
cross claiming,
kicker.
the errors to goal, like the Liverpool goal, the Arsenal, I remember these errors that he made leading to goal this season. He's not been untouchable. He's
I've
not
never
world
denied
class.
his kicking ability, even his cross claim. I just said his shot saving ability is really good.
Chris,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not-
better than
I'm not-
Sanchez.
I'm
It's
not-
better than Sanchez. I
I'm-
never denied that.
And I think Sanchez done really good this season with that as well.
Chris,
Surprisingly,
I'm not
I
letting
didn't
this
see.
fraud Roman Todd out of what I was supposed to do, which was call him out on his BS. So we're not letting him Roman Todd out with this Sanchez.
Hey, Aya, look up how many errors leading to goal.
No, I agree with you about Sanchez.
I was going to say, on form, I would say Sanchez is better. As an
I
overall
want to go
package,
back
no.
that way.
As an overall
Sanchez
package,
is-
no, 100%
How can you
not. I
say
would
that
say
when
on
Sanchez
form.
isn't on good form?
Because I think
The thing
across the
is,
season,
like,
Sanchez on form
Okay,
has been
someone
better.
actually put a tweet out today. How many games has Sanchez played for us this season?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Probably 95% of our games, probably I would say.
Like, would you
Yeah,
say it's like 45 games so far we played this season? Give or take around that
I don't know,
number?
you-
Probably
you've got
more,
You have
I
got
would say,
transfer
yeah.
market.
Hello.
Though. You have got transfer market for that.
Yeah, I'm Googling it.
I can't just look at the Premier League. I look at all competitions, right?
Yeah. Let me
If you look at all, go ahead.
He's played 38 games. 38 games. So 27 in the league.
He's
7
had
in the
38
Champions League,
games.
2
Out of
FA
those
Cup and
38
2
games, I saw a tweet. Out of those 38 games, you could say he was responsible for 5 of our losses because of Boza mistakes. When you look at that percentage-wise, that means he's been good for math 33 of our games. So I'm not going to focus on just the bad games. Last season, it was at least like a good chunk. We were almost in double digits in how many errors.
That's a
That's
third, Marshall, that's a third of our season. So while you're looking at the data and the stats from the positive side,
That's not a
I'm
third
looking
of
at
a
it
season.
from that's
Our
one
third
in
of a
3
season is
games.
like 10 games.
No,
I
he's
know,
saying
but
all comp.
That's like a
He's saying
quarter
all-
of it
he's saying all
almost, yeah, you
comp-
could say.
what I'm saying
Premier
is 1 in 3
Yeah.
is also equally just as bad. It's just not as worse
It's pretty bad.
as that before. You know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
No, obviously for our standards, it's bad. It's not good. But like when you
Well,
look
for
at
our
just the
standards,
standard
it's
of
probably
goalkeeping in
about
general this season, it's just I can't tell you who in the Premier League has been world class outside of maybe
Marshall,
they
David
all,
Raya.
they all have mistakes in them. Ryan
Yeah.
has
Marshall, here's
mistakes
the
in
thing.
them.
Brian's made mistakes, yeah.
Out of 27 games, he has 10 clean sheets. And remember, there was a stretch where we lost 3 games in a row, and we're like, or we drew and lost some games, and we're like,
Yeah.
the defense is the reason why Sanchez is not on 3 more clean sheets than he's supposed to be, and he should be tied for most clean sheets.
I can't even lie to you. Like, and again, this goes back to the point we're talking about, right? Where we're talking about like what Sanchez can't do and Jorgensen can and can't do. One thing that I don't think Jorgensen can do is like, you know, man a defense. I'll be so honest with you. I'm not saying that like Sanchez is the guy, the leader, but like
he's never shown
how vocal he is and how like he screams at the defenders.
This Marshall,
like communication. Jorgensen to me seems like the shy guy. He will write a note to Fofana to say to like challenge because he's scared of him.
Marshall, this is. By the way,
some beta energy.
But again, we're getting to a conversation, the point of the conversation where, again, we're talking about 2 cheeks of the same ass. That's what we're
But
getting
they're not
to.
the same ass. They're 2 different asses.
No,
one got the BBL, one's a flat ass.
Just because
Jorgensen's a flat ass, bro.
Just because one's
that's
bit
that
more
European
pump
ass. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's flat.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, mate.
No cheek, bro.
No cheeks.
No, Marshall. Just because
Great
one of them,
bro.
just because one of them gives you a better reverberation, okay, doesn't mean. Okay, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro.
It's got
like,
a ripple effect.
Yeah,
bro.
You know what I mean? Just because it's got better reverberation, you know, maybe a better sound, maybe even maybe a better sound.
Just,
you know, I don't know how else to say it, like, because like this argument because like for me, this the argument
better
for
sound,
me.
better sound.
Like this is the argument for me. There's no point of us talking about Sanchez. Yes, he's had a great season. End of the day, we still would have lost if Sanchez in goal.
Yes.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
it. That's the reality, guys. End of story. I'm tired of talking about. I'm gonna be. I'll let you go.
Whatever. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, I was just gonna say my final point is that I'm tired of
the
talking
problem I
about
have with
this
this tweet,
backline.
Yeah, you go on, Ahmed.
I was saying I'm just tired of talking about. I'm tired of talking about this backline, though. I'm just tired, bro. I don't want to talk about Sanchez.
We'll get to the attack. Obviously, we're gonna talk about the backline.
I'm talking about the backline generally because I know we all know what the issue is. We know our backline. I've said this before. It's like sitting ducks. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I'm going to use an example here. It's going to be a bit controversial. Okay?
You don't say.
Watch it, Ahmed. Watch
it.
Yeah, I watched American Waffle, the last one, by the way. Yo, watch it.
Hey,
y'all were crazy. Y'all were crazy that episode.
Okay. You know, watching our backline is like watching a siege. Okay, and I need you to hear me out. Okay, we are always under siege. It seems, you know, we're like the siege city. We just get ransacked all the time by the Vikings, bro. That's it. We're just like, you know, do you guys not know that the reference?
Yeah, I know.
I get the reference.
That's legit.
Reference.
That's legit. Like
we're
like listen. It's like the Vikings when they went to their first Christian church, bro, in like England, bro. And we're just taking what to go for free eats, bro. It's just free eats.
Pillage and plunder.
No one really like breaks us down. It's always an error. Like it's always.
I said this. Okay, I think I can think of like the Leeds game. I think we got outplayed. I think we got outplayed by Leeds when we went away, and then I struggled to think of many more games where I'm like, wow, we got completely run over. Fair play to the other team. It's usually, oh my god, we shot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even the City game away, we didn't really get outplayed. Like we were stinky and we kind of scumbagged it at the end, but it wasn't like Man City was just bossing us up.
No, they were not.
I would say the Bayern game away, but even the Bayern game, that was mistakes in that Bayern game. But it's a similar story. This is actually a great parallel. It's a similar story to Bayern where we didn't play that bad. Bayern didn't play that great. We just absolutely shot ourselves in the foot and gave the game to them. The two best attacks in Europe, right? You would say Bayern's attack and probably PSG's attack. You make mistakes versus those teams, they're gonna punish you. Like, they're not gonna. No team is gonna convert their last 4 shots on goals, and convert those into goals very often. But I almost want to see what Sanchez, what Jorgensen is with just decent center backs in front of them. Like if we just had decent center backs, I feel like the season would be so much different. Like I feel like top four would be wrapped up. I feel like we would be.
We saw it. With Sanchez, we saw it last season with Colwill. I'm just talking that the average level raises with Colwill in there. Colwill's not average, but he raises the average level of the backline by being there because he's quality.
You know what I'll say to that too is like KG, you're right, and I think that helps lower the pressure on the goalkeeper. It would have helped someone like Jorgensen tonight if we had just more competent center backs. But the other thing too that I think is an issue that I'm noticing between like how Maresca set us up versus how ROSENIor set us up. We're much more open, and I think that's part of the midfield, which is I think is part of why lately, at least since ROSENIor's been here, I haven't seen a consistent run of games where Caicedo's just been top like 7, 8, 9 out of 10. Like even today, like I don't think he was brilliant. I actually think Enzo was better than him today. Like, and that's crazy because that's never the case. So I think also the way that ROSENIor has Caicedo playing the positions he has him taken up, I think there's a reason why under Maresca you saw Caicedo much more involved, like definitely getting aggressive, definitely getting yellow cards and defending and tackling and doing all that. Whereas he's not really in those positions anymore.
Question, Marshall. Are you saying that Caicedo is a system player?
No, I'm not saying he's a system player. I just don't think that ROSENIor is putting him in positions to really get the most out of him. And I think it shows because it also doesn't help the defense, right? I think one of the great things about Moy was the fact that if you play him in that 6, if you keep him there in good positions to make those tackles and maybe decide when to get into the box and take a shot and all that stuff, it helps out the defense. We saw it when Tuchel came here. With how Jorginho and Kovacic or Jorginho and Kante would set up in front of our defense, get that big block there so that it made it very difficult for the opposition team to score against us. We don't have that. And it shows, and at least with Caicedo, he would cover that ground. He would be 2 players back there by himself.
I don't think it's a Caicedo.
I think for me as well, with how
issue.
Yeah, it's set up. But so yeah, I don't think it's a setup.
Go, Chris. Go ahead.
No, with Gusto getting rinsed as well, I think James had to vacate the midfield a lot to help Gusto.
Yeah,
so Caicedo was on his own.
I don't like this
I think this comes back to a system thing though, of like I think part of it because I link it to the 5th goal we concede, right? Where you see like
for you.
So something happens on the right hand side. I can't remember what happened, but like Kukure is obviously out of position because I think he's minding the guy on the ball. There's a runner out of midfield, which Lavia then has. Here we go. So yeah, Kukure steps up to get the guy that's on the ball. So he obviously misses it. And then Lavia has to step out. Lavia has to step out of midfield to cover the guy Kukure would have covered if he'd been in the position. But then no one's covering the guy stepping out because it's like people don't know what to do. When someone vacates a space, it's like people don't know what to do. Like they don't know where they're meant to be covering. So in this position, you've got no one covering the guy in the midfield. It should be Enzo picking him up.
4v2.
And then it's not. And then like he scores, right? So I think this is like a similar thing of the setup in the midfield and everything, like with Caicedo, because it feels like there's not a cohesion with the midfielders, or like outside of when Santos and Caicedo were playing. That's like the closest we've got. I think that there was cohesion there, but outside of that, it feels like there's no understanding of guys where they need to be, both from a partnership sense. Position.
Just quickly, Malo Gusto
around the team.
Just quickly, Malo Gusto. Sorry, no, Scott, this is important because it's going to help you out, yeah? Malo Gusto seemingly questions the tactical approach after making it 2-2. The last 2 goals were mistakes. We should just sit back and wait for them because we knew there is a second leg coming up. That's what he's said to football on team.
So what? At 2-2, you told him go for it or what? Like, I don't get it.
He's saying... He's saying...
But I think this is the thing. So I think we were talking about on the watch along. I think Ahmed, you might have said, or someone said, I think at one point he had Tosin, Badiashile, and Hato all warming up or ready to come on. Which
he
is
had
a
5
2-2.
centre back. He had three centre backs
he
and
was
Delap.
ready at 2-2 to sharp shop and go for the draw.
Yes.
And then that third goal that Jorgensen fucks, it was at that point he decided, he threw it out the window and went, like, we need to win. Or we need to draw, sorry, not even win, but we need to draw. So even at 3-2, he could have gone defensive and he didn't. But I like I said, I think so much of our issues with this come with just the setup and how we defend and how everyone's connected together. Like, there just feels like there's absolutely no cohesion.
That's what I mean.
I was going to say, even going forward, by the way, because like the goals we score, outside of like one moment from Enzo, that pass, it feels like a lot of the goals we scored, it's not a case of it's cohesion, it's not good build-up play, it's we high press, capitalize, and it's just like one pass. It's one pass down the wing and a cross in the box. It's not like there's a
but Scott, we created a lot of chances. We even this game we created a lot of chances. It just came down to the quality. I know what you're saying. Like, it seems like we're scoring a lot of the same goals, but we create a lot of chances. We just screw up a lot of chances, right? That goal when the game flipped, when it went 2-1, right? Because Palmer should have scored at one end. They go 1. It's them being up. It's them 2-1. So we create our chances, but again, the quality in attack is just not. It's not there. And with Palmer, Palmer not
I agree
playing
with you on the. I agree with you on the create chance. I think what I mean is more the chances we create, at least from this game and other games we've had. It doesn't look like they're created from a. How do I word this? It looks like it more comes the chance we create from a bit of individual brilliance rather than a cohesion within the team and the attacking players of like incredible build up. If that makes sense, like because you're right, we do.
Kind of agree with that.
The only reason why I don't agree, Marshall and Scott, is that outside of João Pedro, we haven't had any individual brilliance.
I think today in that first half especially, like
Palmer's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Or Nacho was not doing. I mean, he didn't do anything. He didn't hardly play today. Yeah. But there's no Enzo does not have a moment of individual brilliance in him where he's like he can beat a man or something like he's turned into a decent box crasher. But I don't think outside of JP, like JP's our only attacker that's firing right now, and it's really been our only attacker that's been firing since ROSENIOR has got here. So I'm like, at some point, Cole Palmer's got to step up. At some point, like, and to be honest with you, Neto wasn't even that bad today. Like,
no,
maybe that's grading.
He was causing havoc,
but he was. I thought the game plan of Arsene talked about it before of isolating Marquinhos with Neto was fantastic because Neto was just running by him. We got down to we created some chances, or we throw the pass away that should be the one that leads to a big chance. But you're right. Like there should have been better game management today, not only from ROSENIOR, but also from the players that were out there where they're saying, you know what, at 2-2, let's just manage it. Let's get through this. Let's not lose this. Let's take the draw back to Stamford Bridge. We back ourselves at home in Europe. We've been good at home at Europe, even though we've been trash at home in the league. And then just see the game out and then just get out of there. And because like you guys were saying, it wasn't like PSG was like creating chances, right? They had some possession where they had us pinned in the first half and they were kind of just recycling possession like all teams do against low blocks and just trying to, trying to isolate the wingers, Doué, Dembele 1v1, Barcola 1v1. But it was just, I think it was just naive. I think it was just an inexperienced manager, naive on the big stage. He should have known better considering how many times he's played PSG and he knows the quality. Everybody knows the quality of PSG and their front attack. And then,
but I think
his quality.
The thing is, though, like in terms of shutting the game out, like even if ROSENIOR took the punt and decided to do that before the third goal went in, we all saw what his plan was based on who was warming up. He was going to bring Tosin on, which is it's a guaranteed goal against almost every single time it happens. Yeah. So it's back to the manager.
Tosin has the worst plus minus out of anybody on our squad, bro. Every time he comes on the pitch,
this comes back to RSM. This comes back to what I said earlier about the Wrexham game. I understand like it's Wrexham, who cares, but he's going to have the same issues Maresca had of you keep wanting to trust these guys, they're going to let you down. You're the one that's gonna fall. Sure. Like Tosin shouldn't be coming on. Bring Sarr on. If Sarr makes a mistake, he makes a mistake. He's fucking 19, 20.
There's a question I've got to
at least he's played against PSG and played well against PSG. Like,
I have a question for everyone here. Yeah, it's all well and we're criticizing Rosinio. We've spoken a lot about Rosinio here, right? But guys, right now I think we're what, 4th or 5th place right now. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, okay.
4th,
I think.
5th. I can't remember.
5th, something like that, right?
What's the Premier
League? In the Premier League, right? And the reality is, yeah, as long as he gets UCL football, right, he's gonna stay here, right? He ain't going. So we're gonna be stuck with this level of ineptitude that we're talking about right now, unless he obviously improves. So I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what is the plan here. Does that make sense?
The thing is, for me, and today is kind of where I kind of get what you're asking here, or correct me if I'm wrong, but like, I think at this point in the season, he's not going to get sacked. Let's just admit that he is not going to get sacked. No. He's going to be given the rest of the season. Hopefully something happens in the summer. Maybe next season he fixes it up and he improves, but I'm not hopeful. That's why I said I stopped believing.
Marshall, I have one guarantee for the summer.
They won't improve.
The guarantee for the summer is that he's killed Sanchez's confidence. Jorgensen's rubbish anyway.
Yeah,
they're going to parlay this into rushing Penders into our number 1 spot.
Probably
in goal.
There was
that should not have been on our radar. He should spend another season at Strasbourg for all I care.
Yeah.
But he's going to be rushed in now because he has experience of playing this system. They're going to use that narrative.
Let me ask you this on the flip side: Is Penders, can he be worse than Jorgensen? Can he be worse than Sanchez?
I hope not.
Probably.
He's been good.
Probably.
From what I've seen, he's been good.
Jorgensen is regardless of whether he's better or worse. At least if Penders plays, it leads towards what me and Ahmed have been saying of like, it's the same thing I talk about as Sar and Anselmino. And it's like he might be worse, he might be just as bad.
Yeah.
The runway for him to learn is massive. At least if you try and obviously this doesn't work, you see what happens with Kinski, right? But it's like, at least if you can potentially try and get and iron the mistakes out initially, the runway is there for him to get better. Like, I'd rather see him play than watch Jorgensen play and play like shit and him not learn anything. I'd rather see him play like shit and watch Sanchez play like shit and not learn anything, because these guys are not going to learn anything. Same with the centre backs. Like, we're at that stage of like, if we're going to watch some of these guys, whether it's Sanchez, Jorgensen, Tosin, Neto, whoever, right, play like shit, they're not learning anything. They're not going to learn anything. They're at where they're at as players. I'd rather play the kids who are going to learn something. Because you've invested in the youth model, you might as well do it, right? Like,
there's so much on the line, though. That's like
not
from us in terms of like challenging for titles or UCLs and things like that, but from the owner's perspective, there's so much money on the line.
I understand that.
I understand to an extent, but my pushback on that would be, and I think I know what you're going to say anyway, but my pushback on that would be, if these kids that you're signing are not good enough at a base level for us to get top 4 or top 5, so Champions League football minimum, why the fuck are they at the football club? Like, I'm not saying, because like Penders, the view with Penders is he becomes a title-winning keeper. So his base level should be Champions League keeper. Should be his base level if he's at Chelsea, with the view of getting title level. Same with all these guys. So if you've bought kids like an Amugu, right, who's barely Conference League level, and I know he was a Strasbourg player, but it's more because he's the first guy that came to mind. If you've got guys that aren't Conference League level, why are they at the club in the first place? Like, if Penders comes in, he should be ready to start for an Aston Villa, for a Newcastle, for a team that would challenge for Champions League. I'd expect him to, if he's as good as you think he is. The task is then to get him to the point where he's a title-winning keeper. That's what I think the aim is. So like I said, yeah, if I understand your point about the money, but I think if these guys are as good as they're meant to be, for you to invest this money and time into them, they need to be at bare minimum Champions League level players. At bare minimum.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched Penders. I'm not watching.
I've watched a little bit, not like
Chelsea. Why am I? There's no way I'm going to watch Strasbourg every week. My only thing with Penders is just, I know he's good on the ball. I know he's tall. I know he's a good shot stopper. I just worry about, can he deal with corners? Can he deal with crosses? Because to be honest with you, unless the rules change and unless they actually start calling Arsenal and all these other clubs that are copying them, like that's what you have to deal with.
That's actually not a bad shout, because you look at his physical. He's like, he can easily get bullied. I could see that, but I mean, he's also massive. He's a unit. I think he's taller than Sanchez.
He looks like a baby Tebow.
Yeah, I think he literally I think might be the tallest goalkeeper we have, because he's actually, I think he's taller than Sanchez, but like maybe that'll help him. But he's definitely got to put some more brawn or some physicality on him, some more meat, because my dude's pretty lean. I can't lie, and he'll get easily get physical in the corners and stuff, which could be an issue. But I mean,
go.
No, one thing I want to talk about, because I know we've been talking about the defense a lot, but I think there are, at least in my opinion, I think there are a few positives about today that I really want to see for the rest of the season that would be helpful. And this goes back to what we're talking about in terms of our structure going forward. I think from what I've seen from Liam so far, what he likes to do, especially in this game, is find the passes in between the lines. And as I'm watching more football, as I'm getting more experience with the game and maturing, I'm starting to understand now the point of the side-to-side passing. Because specifically with ROSENIor, he wants to find those gaps, because the team's organized in lines sometimes. And you want to find those gaps so you can find those middle passes. So he likes to go through the middle a lot more, which is exciting. That's what we were asking for a lot under Maresca and all this stuff. And I think that's kind of the plan. And then he kind of gives the players the creativity to kind of, and unfortunately we don't have the best quality of attackers, and we're talking about Neto. Like today he was all right, but we've seen him in other days where he loses the ball, he gets dispossessed, bad touch. Garnacho too has bad games. Like that's what hurts us. But I think today, going forward, we had moments. We were, especially in that first half, we were doing really well. And one player I got to give props to, and Scott, I know you might not agree, but I think the first half especially, I think Enzo Fernandez was doing a great job of dictating our attack and really, really creating some chances for us to score. I mean, he is responsible for the first goal with this pass to, like, again, everyone's kind of in their position, but we're more on the left-hand side. So Neto's on the left, Joao's in the middle, Palmer on the right. And he sees, and I was hoping he would see Malagusto. Malagusto was smart enough to make the run. I'm shocked he even finished this, to be honest with you.
Keeper could have done better there, but
Keeper should have done better.
No, yeah, the pass is really good.
It's like today. I think today was one of Enzo, if not Enzo's best performance this season.
One of his top ones, yeah. That
for sure.
That and Aston Villa, he was quite good.
I'd say it's.
I think he had the space this time.
This has probably been his best performance since ROSENIor came in.
Sure.
Yeah.
True.
100%. Yeah.
Which I think, I'm going to be honest, I think says more about him than it does anything else.
About
ROSENIor, I do agree with you. I think going forward he was good. I think defensively he's still trash, but I think going forward he was good.
Yeah. Yeah, defensively, he had some moments and stuff. I don't know. I think defensively we were struggling a bit. But, like, it's the same thing that,
just link up and passing was really good today.
It's the same thing, again, like, when you know your positioning and stuff, like, I think that's one thing that maybe when it came to Maresca and why he wanted to use Enzo as a box crasher is maybe more so because Enzo kind of can find the positions and time it right. It was just the quality. Even Santos to an extent, like I like Santos a lot because when a center back goes forward, like today, Santos already automatically knows to step into the center back position to cover in case Fofana or Chalobah get caught. I would even make the argument that if Santos was playing this game, we don't concede that silly goal where Chalobah gets baited out, then the Dembele go. Because maybe Santos is smart enough to already be in that position, knowing, okay, Chalobah's not there. It's intelligence and it's moments of brilliance, like you guys were saying. I think today, when you let Enzo have the space and let him dictate a little bit more, he can be that player that can find and create the attacks. We just need to see this more often. This is the good combination of Graham Potter Enzo and Enzo Maresca Enzo. Like
I disagree on that. I don't think this was anything.
I like the passing ability.
What did he do defensively, Marshall?
I don't think this was anything like Graham Potter Enzo. I'll be honest.
You don't even think with these passes that he was doing all game? He
You
was
give
setting
him
us
time,
up
We've
brilliantly.
seen him do that under Enzo. He just and this is my criticism of him, is he has this ability to do these passes. He does not do them enough.
Yeah.
I think he doesn't do them enough because he's always under pressure. He's always getting pressed. They just gave him space, which is why I think the second half was worse for him because I think, what's his face? Enrique was telling everyone to start marking man for man, which was giving other players space to do stuff. I think what's his face was good too today, João Pedro. I think João Pedro tried his best, but
João Pedro
probably
just
should have had a
the
goal
same-
to be honest.
João Pedro just had the same issue he's had the whole time. Like for the most part, when he's had bad games, and it was either under Maresca as well, like to start the season more often than not, he just isolated, bro. Like he's getting no support from anyone.
To be fair though, he was doing a very good job fighting against Pacho.
Oh, 100% he was, but
Yeah.
it was the same. It was the same situation as the Arsenal game, bro. You've got him fighting against two physical centre backs with no fucking support.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you guys think though? Like my thing with Enzo is always that he imbalances the midfield because he.
Oh yeah, I still think he does.
It's not that he
I
can't
agree.
run because we've seen him get forward. Like the goal he scored today was he was on his bike, but like this is my thing, and I'm very anti Gusto. I like Reece James in the midfield, but I'd rather have Reece James at right back and then a Lavia or a Santos next to him for what Marshall was talking about in terms of I want somebody that if Caicedo gets a little bit more forward, if Enzo's more forward, I want that guy that's his natural instinct is going to be just to sit. And Reece James, as good as Reece James is, because don't get me wrong, in the big games this year, Reece James has been the best midfielder on the pitch against Arsenal, even in this game, I thought he wasn't too bad. But I want
Danish
that
had a
extra
horrible
controller, that extra
Liverpool game too, actually, just remember.
Yeah, I want
He's right on that one.
I want that guy that just sits, he'll just sit there and just Lavia will sit there and just let Enzo get forward. He'll let Caicedo get over. Because I think, and RSM probably knows better than all of us, like Caicedo, when he plays for Ecuador and when he's good, I think Caicedo's good going forward. Like I think he's got a good shot. He's got a good shot on him. I think he's
very good at passing too, bro.
What do you say?
I said he's also very good at passing.
Yeah,
he's very
he's
underrated.
a good passer. He's good. Chip balls over the top, lob balls over the top. He's calm under pressure. He can hold on to the ball. He can draw fouls. I just think you just need, with Enzo there, I think we'll never be a top team if we have a midfield of Enzo, Caicedo, and then Palmer in the 10. I think it's just
I agree.
too.
I
I
100% agree, and I think
agree.
you see KG. That's why we've seen Rosinha do the thing of put
Santos.
what's it called? Put Enzo on the wing,
Yeah.
just so he can get him in the team, but so he's not in a sense of he's in a position where, for example, the last goal, he's in a position where defensively he's not helping the team at all. And I think we said this before. I think Enzo's such a weird one because he does offer some things, like obviously the goals and assists are good when he gets them, but there are other moments where bro, you see the chance he gets outside the box, any midfielder in that situation, you think of midfielders who've had Lampard, you think of Palmer in that situation more often than not, you think of your Rice is the top midfielders anywhere. Fede Valverde, you see the goals he scores today, bro, they're hitting that, they're wrapping their foot around that.
Yeah.
With Enzo Fernandez, anything outside the box when it comes to shooting is a wrap.
Yeah.
In a bad sense. So all you're really getting from him is box crashing.
Yep.
And the occasional outside of that, you're not getting much.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really fit what you want to do. He's such, I've said this before, he's such a weird player to try and work around and plan around.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things you have to account for with him, but when he's good, he does give you some really good things.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just
For
weird,
me,
man.
this is a hot take, but I said this game. I would have been happy with Caicedo, and I think that would have provided more balance. I think Enzo going forward, what he gives us, obviously going forward, yes, is great. I won't deny that. But I think the issue always becomes the amount I'm losing defensively is too much.
Yeah, I agree.
Wait,
It's too much,
who
bro.
would you have over
You-
Enzo? Sorry.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
Santos.
Santos. I've had Caicedo and Santos together.
Yeah.
Caicedo,
The problem is,
Santos, and
the problem
who's
is
the third
you
one?
need-
Who's the third one?
Palmer in the 10.
Danish, we need 4 goals.
Wait,
if
who's
you
the
go
right
to
winger
pens,
then?
Which I think if we go to pens against PSG, we lose, by the way, personally.
Wait.
Especially if we have Jorgensen in
Who
goal.
would play
You
right
need
wing
4
then?
goals.
Yeah, who's the right winger?
I think he's just talking about midfield in general.
Well, no,
in
I'll just
general,
have Palmer on the
Chris.
right and have them free in midfield, no?
No,
Yeah.
I'd have Palmer in the 10. If everyone's fit,
Esteval on the right.
I say if
Yeah.
everyone's fit, I'm putting
Where is
Esteval on the
Esteval?
right.
He's injured.
I'm putting Esteval on the right. I'm putting
Oh.
Palmer in the 10. I'm putting Palmer in the 10, and I'm putting Caicedo and Santos.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
I just think
See,
I
that's
think for
the
me.
problem though.
Yes.
When Esteval gets back, right? Like we can't have a team that's balanced with Esteval, Palmer, and Enzo all out there at the same time.
Exactly. Yes.
Like
In the
don't get me
country,
wrong,
yeah, I
like
agree.
for certain teams that might work, like maybe in Europe and things like that, but in the Prem, one that's too lightweight, and two that's not enough running, not enough legs, not enough guys that are willing
completely
to
agree.
do the work defensively. So it's like we've got such a poorly constructed squad. I don't know how you get the best out of that situation consistently.
Hey, if you have a problem with me cherry picking chats, I'm sorry. I prioritize my mods and my members because hey, they're my VIPs. So hey, only 99p. All I'm saying, or if you smash the like button, I'll put your chats up more, or subscribe. So either or, which you haven't done so already, go ahead and do so. But yeah, we got the regulars, you know. And if you got a good opinion, I'll put it up, man. I try.
Yeah,
some of
and,
you guys
you know,
are just raging. You know what I'm saying?
You know they deserve to rage, Marshall, because
Marshall,
that's true.
You know why? Do you know why, Marshall? I'm gonna be. This is time for me to be a dickhead. I'm gonna be a dickhead. I'm
Wait,
gonna be
just
a
right
dickhead
now?
You know what is RSM? Go fuck yourself,
right
mate.
now.
Go fuck yourself. How does it? Now I'm being a dickhead. You know what I mean?
By the way,
you know this is the purgatory. This is the purgatory that Marshall wants.
The
innit?
purgatory.
So this is the Marshall's purgatory, man. He's happy to be here next year. With
Yeah, I'm in
similar
hell.
amount of
That's why
money.
the lights
You
are
know what I
red.
mean?
If you're a regular here, you know why the
we're
lights
not
are red. We're in
doing-
hell.
We
Marshall
are
likes to be in hell.
absolutely not doing this gimmick. Yeah, because
Yeah.
this is your purgatory,
Gimmick,
man.
man, you're not doing this gimmick.
Listen, you're not ready to be in the trenches like me. I told you, we have to be in the trenches, bro. Oh, listen, I'm gonna be honest.
I'm sorry. I'm not going through Graham Potter again for 3 seasons. I'm okay.
Well, guess what, buddy? You just went from game form right now. That's what he
Yeah.
that's what he got right now. Right now is what we
That's
got.
what-
Right
but
now.
that's what I'm saying.
Wouldn't you say it's more like Poch maybe with like the attacking style?
Oh
Poch
my
was balling.
goodness
Or am I
me.
just reading it?
Oh my God! Come see, you know. Oh, it's Poch. Oh, it's Grandpa. What did these brothers give me? What did these brothers give me, man?
Poch was
Man,
balling.
what are you even saying right now? Like,
I know, Poch was balling.
what statement
Marshall-
is coming out? What facts are you spitting right now?
Marshall, you
Just
know
saying
what I'm
things.
talking about. When I say the word purgatory, you know the stream that I mentioned purgatory in. This
All
is
right,
what
you know
purgatory
what, chat?
gives
I'm
you.
gonna put it up to a vote. Would you rather bomb the whole squad and spend X amount of time outside of Europe, or would you rather try to go for Europe next season and try to build off of this shitty squad? I'm gonna ask you right now, chat. I'm gonna put it up in a poll, okay? Because
I want Conference League against who
if
can win
bomb the squad means we're gonna be near Tottenham and them, okay, cool. Have fun with that. Because I can't trust these directors to rebuild my team. I'll be so real. If they go, then maybe we can have a discussion.
That's
But
the only,
They have to
that's
go.
the biggest
They have
thing.
to
they're the ones that got into this purgatory in the first place. What's worse than purgatory, Ahmed? Tell me.
I'd rather be in hell fast.
Tottenham.
Sometimes you
All
need
right,
to go
cool.
to
Then
hell
let's go to
after
hell
this.
because that's probably what they're gonna do, bro.
Yes, and I'm sorry, bro. You're willing to get another season of UCL football, yeah, and still go through this nonsense. Well, we go back to round 1 again. I'm not doing that, Akhi. I'm telling you that right now.
right,
I
man.
can't do that again. It's gonna affect me mentally. I'm already mentally affected. by the football club. There's
so
like people
annoying.
because people can laugh
Listen,
at that,
bro.
but like listen, for some people here, the local fans, I don't know who's
No,
the
Here
local
we
fans.
go. Here
You
we
know
go.
what I
here
mean?
we go.
You
Scott,
feel
can
that, man?
On our behalf,
You
can
feel
you
that,
shut
man?
up?
Who's got left?
Still
I'm
wild,
gonna
bro.
give you a yellow for that. That was an unnecessary tackle.
Look at this dickhead, man.
Everybody's in a dickhead setting right now. Pause. Jesus.
No, but like,
That's
listen.
what Marshall said is the scary part about your let's blow it up. you can't trust these guys to blow it up and get it right. We'll spend another $1 billion on trash.
I understand that. Listen, don't get it twisted. You and I, we both know. I understand that. I hear that from you guys, right? But the reality also is, guys, yeah, we're not getting any better either. That's also true, bro. Right, KG? Right? So we're not getting any better, right? But we fear getting worse. Sometimes, bro, we just got to go through the deep end and see what happens.
Let me throw another counter to you. Now, this is for everybody. How many players away do you think this current team is fully healthy? So that's Colwell back, that's Esteval back, fully healthy. How many players is this current team away from challenging for a Prem? I'll say the only reason why I say Prem is because to me that's your bread and butter, and that's what determines whether or not you're a good team. Like, we could go far in the cups and stuff like that, but that could be luck. Prem to me is about you have to consistently be good to challenge for a Prem.
So let's go through this here. I'll go through top to bottom. Is a lot more easier for us, yeah? I think we definitely need another striker, right? João Pedro, great season, but we need another guy alongside.
You name him.
Right? We need another striker, right? We then obviously need another left winger. Let's keep it real. We need another left winger. If we say Palma and Esteval, that's fine. We probably, I think, the midfield department, probably one more, because we can't really trust. What's it called? Lavia to stay fit, right? No, but again, but these are complementary signs. I'm not saying we need right? We need probably another guy there. Probably
you need a squad to win the league, though. We keep on. That's 3.
Like, I'll say 4. Let's add 2. I'll say 2 midfielders. Because,
do you think, if we don't get European football, you think we can?
One second, Chris. I'll come back to you, bro.
Oh, you got more.
Yeah. Obviously, 2 goalkeeper. Well, if you say Penders is going to be one of them, then another goalkeeper. So we need one goalkeeper as well. Okay. Left back wise, I think Kukurea has gone this season, so we need a left back. If we're being honest, I think he's gone this season. I'm being fair.
Yeah,
I'm being fair.
I can't lie, bro. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I'm being fair.
What?
Not because we got hold on. Kukurea is, we gave him a bump in pay. We didn't renew his contract. We didn't extend.
Yes.
And then you know who else is up? Reese and Caicedo. However, we have gotten news that Reese is literally going nowhere, so they don't feel the need to rush. And Caicedo also said that he wants to stay at Chelsea. So those 2 are patterned up. We know more likely than not in the summer it's gonna get dealt with. Kukurea has been crickets since we gave him the pay raise. Crickets, bro.
So
that's 5.
That's 5. So goalkeeper, left back, as I said, right? We need. I believe in Champong, and I believe in what's his name, Sar, right? And Colwell. So realistically, you probably need another 2 centre backs. I would probably say, right, just in case, right? You probably. I don't trust Alan Tomino. I'm sorry, Marshall. He's He's more injury prone than Mango. You know what I mean?
I don't know anything about
the question is,
that's the one player I haven't watched.
And I think that's pretty much it. I'll probably say that's pretty much it, bro. That's half a squad, I'll probably say.
Yeah, but how are we gonna do that?
That's 8.
With no Europe.
Yeah, with no Europe.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. That's why I've said no. And that's why I've said, man, next season is the suffering season. With the young lads, with the young guys that you got, developing them and doing.
When you're thinking about this plan that you have, right, and how you would go about it, and you say
like
next
Amram,
season,
he sounds like Amram. We need to.
And you say Amram Nation. If you say that, right, and you say next season is the pain season, what's the season after that?
The pain season. The next season is what I like to call the growth season. That's why we are getting into the Champions League. You know.
Oh my God! So you live in a delusion. That's what I mean. But how do you know it's only going to be one season?
No,
I didn't say it's less money because you're out of Europe. You're saying all these positions that you got to fill. Bro, yeah, but we're going to go through 3 seasons of that's going to hurt season.
No. But this is what I'm saying to you, and you're not listening here. Please open your ears. First season is the suffering season. You gotta sell a few players and bring in was it called, yeah, and do that stuff, right? That's gonna be the pain season. The next season you can add to that. Maybe
hold on.
Wait. I'm not saying we're gonna get UCL. I'm not saying we're gonna get UCL in the second season.
But you're saying we're gonna compete.
I'm saying next season. That season is gonna be the UCL where we go into get the UCL. That season, because I don't think we're gonna get UCL in the first season. We might get a Conference League spot
again. Like exactly, compete. I understand what you're saying. I still think you're delusional, because the thing is, okay, I just want you guys to notice he skipped over the part where we're gonna do the thing and the thing. Get rid of the players and do the thing. Okay, you said how many positions was this, KG? 7 positions?
8.
8 positions.
I would
you're saying
say
without
realistically like 6, because there was a couple. Like we're not buying 2 goalkeepers. Like
okay, so about 6 realistic ones that like because you can get as soon as you get one good keeper, you can get away with having Sanchez or Jorgensen as your backup, right? You can get away with that, right? Yeah. So 6. So you're saying get out of Champions League, lose out on all that money, sell these players, and then use that money to buy other players. Brother, what kind of players do you think we're gonna get with that money? It's not going to be the type of players that are going to get you that UCL top 4. And to go on to your point, all right? Like, okay, fine. Doesn't matter the quality of players. Go and get good. You're going to have to do bargain bin shopping. You're going to have to get youngsters, and we're going to have to do this all over again.
Structure, guys that fit in, guys that want 100K. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I agree with some of what you're saying, and I definitely think we need to.
I get the logic. Don't get me wrong.
I get the logic. I just don't trust
exactly.
The people making the decisions to bring these guys in. So.
Okay, that's fair play.
And I don't think we're going to be able to raise a lot of money.
But there's a issue that we come back to here, guys. Yeah, which is that okay, that's all well and good. We get the UCL money in, but nothing's changing, guys. We're just doing a much bigger version of buying diamonds in the rough again.
I understand that. I think
so for me again, this is why we always have this conversation. It's just like nothing's changing in the top and nothing is so what is the point of staying in that position? That's what I always say.
The way I look at it right now is that these guys are building a team, and I still stick to this. They're building a team that isn't going to get you results now, but in the future, you're investing in what they could potentially be in the future. Like, it's like having it's like they're trying to make the Man City treble winning team 5 years before it becomes that. Yeah. And to be fair, there are some players in this team that you could say like, yeah, they're really good players. You could really do something well with these players. The left winger situation, they're waiting to see what Kenda becomes. Right? Kenda could potentially be that solution down the line. He's not going to be the solution next season, but maybe in 2-3 seasons he's there, right? You look at Anselmino and Mamadou Sarr. Say what you want about them. Maybe you don't rate them, but if they do end up being good investments, they do end up being good players, then you have that solution 2-3 seasons down the line. So Chelsea fans don't want to be patient, and I agree. You shouldn't be patient. We've already been patient enough.
It's not
3 seasons of this. You know,
it's not the fans though. Part of this has to go down to the club. The club lack patience.
Yeah,
you know, we signed Nicholas Jackson in 2023, and he's all but out the door this summer. You know, if it's a long term thing, he isn't gone. The same with Noni Madueke. The same with countless others.
Right.
There is a club problem as much as there is with a fan patience.
I need to reel back. Because people have short-term memories. Abu, you're included in this. I think in the summer, most of us were pretty convinced that this team could do something in the league, potentially, even without Colwell. I know it was a big issue losing Colwell, but we were saying, all right, we'll at least get UCL. We'll see what we do in the cups. Like, we were pretty optimistic about how our season was going to go. And we also didn't think this team was this shit. So all of a sudden, we have the season we have, and we're just putting it down to the players. But it's the same players that accomplished what they did last season and winning those 2 trophies and getting UCL football. Like, we know that there's good players in this team. Let's not pretend that Caicedo's shit. Let's stop pretending that Enzo's absolutely useless. Let's stop pretending that Cole Palmer's absolutely useless. João Pedro's been a horrible signing. Like, there have been some good hits in this team. You can make something with those hits. You just got to get other hits around them too. So again, like, you saying I sound like a brown envelope. I don't think I've said anything. I'm totally against brother, look at my goddamn background, for fuck's sake. It was this for the longest time. I'm removing you guys for a second. 1 second. Like, what are we? Brown envelope, my ass. I wish I was a brown envelope. I'd be in England more often watching these games. And I think I have to come in England again.
One thing too, Ahmed, that you...
Oh, you got called a brown envelope. That's
I know.
I know.
One thing too, Ahmed, that you I don't want to say you forgot, but Who's managing these players? Because we're not going to attract the top manager.
True.
Like
no one wants this job.
No
one wants this job.
This is why I didn't really want to enter Maresca out,
throw
because
kids at him.
after this, who do we get?
Yeah, like
What I will say, this is
Liam Rosenio's out.
But
Who
the
do we
thing is,
get?
though, but hold on. We need to clarify something. Well, we don't need to clarify shit. But, like, one thing I need to say, though, is that Maresca didn't get sacked. He walked away.
Okay.
He walked away.
Okay, I'm gonna. I mean, I hate to.
Pochettino walked away.
Pochettino definitely walked away. I agree with that. With the Maresca
walked away. They did not want the season to go like this. I guarantee you that. Because they
No,
destabilized
wait,
Strasbourg too. Even though Strasbourg,
I think the reason why I'm stepping in here is that I think, and listen, this is not me being Maresca bias here. I'm genuinely saying this here. It's a bit more with Maresca. It's a bit more complicated than just him walking away. I hate to put it.
it was
like that, right?
yeah, it was a bit more complicated. It's a little bit of both. They didn't sack him. That's
because
the thing. They were ready to give him more time.
Because like with Poch definitely walked away. There's no denying. Poch just said,
"Yeah,
I'm out of here, bro."
They got rid of Gallagher, and he was like, "This is it, the final straw."
Yeah, bro. He wanted Gallagher.
It was literally Gallagher. As soon as Gallagher left, we got the news.
That's the thing, though. We took a punt on a championship manager who actually turned out to be half decent, right? So they got lucky on that hit. Then we got ROSENIOR, who we all know is not ready for this level, not ready for this job, right? Evidenced today, evidenced by some of the other stuff. And look, that's who's in the pipeline next is Gary Owen. Like, look at the managers that we are attracting. Like, I know
I'm
I don't want to be a nostalgia merchant and things like that about us. We used to go out there and we used to get even our interim managers back in the day used to be incredible. Gus Hiddink, like he was really good. We used to get really top flight managers. I just don't think many people are going to look at this Chelsea job other than those folks that are like, it's such a jump up that they
it'd be a step up. Yeah, it'd be a step up for them.
But the rest of these, like any manager that's worth like say an Iriola or a Glasner, I think they would turn Chelsea down.
But you know, you know what the worst part is?
I think there's one.
If we, and this is the thing, even if we do get a good manager, let's say in the ilk of Maresca, they're going to eventually, like any winning manager does, get a bit of self-respect. And then they're going to be like, and then they're going to be like, listen, I got this thing. Now I want to take this team to the next step up. I want to take the next step up. I need X, Y, and Z. And they're going to be like, no. And then they're going to leave.
Yes. The man lost his best center back, the guy who was like becoming our vocal leader at the back, Cobham kid, had the fans behind him.
Bro, hold up. Cole was the only center back Maresca ever spoke positively about. He cared less about any other center back, bro.
He rebuilt him after Poch had him playing left back settings, right? And then he gets hurt before the season starts, and he says, I don't have anybody else, and they like find internal solutions.
I am not.
Meanwhile, at the time, Badiashile was hurt. Tosin, we know, is trash. Fofana is a walking injury. Like, what internal solutions was he supposed to find? Like, just like Arsene said, anytime, doesn't matter who it is, what the job is. If you excel at your job and you want to go to the next level, you're going to ask for more resources. You're going to ask for better talent around you. You're going to ask for more. And he went and he deserved it, right? Because it wasn't like he achieved all his goals last year. Conference League, everybody said we must win that. We went out there, we won that. Top 5 or top 4, we secured top 4, even though we kind of bottled it and it went down to the last minute. But to be honest with you, that's how top 4 races all end up. Like, no one ever grabs top 4. It's always who's the best out of the least inconsistent group. And then in the summertime, he one-upped it and won the Club World Cup. Basically put 200 plus million in the owner's pockets.
Yep.
And the last 2 transfers we get are Garnacho, who we chased all summer, right? Fabrizio all summer. And then Buenanote? Like, what? I get it, like, and I know some people are like, Maresca quit on us. But at the same time, I'm like, be a fucking realist. What would you do in that situation where you need more, you've got some quality, you've shown that you can do stuff, and you still don't give it. Like,
bro, but that's why I tell people real quick, I mean, before you go, that's why I tell people, like, and you could tell people who have actually had jobs where they've been micromanaged and people who haven't had that issue, like, when you have to work in that kind of environment, it is so volatile. Like you dread it because there's that one guy that's always looking over your shoulder, telling you how to do this and that, which was rumored to be part of the issue at when Maresca was here, right? Which is why, like, I was thinking when you were saying KG, I'm thinking like it's crazy to say like Maresca was almost like the perfect, not perfect, but like he was the one of the best options they've had because he wasn't asking for much. He just wanted a center back. That's it. Most managers ask you for this, for that, for that, for that. He was asking for one manager. And even before Levi got hurt, he wasn't asking for jack shit. He was quiet, willing to just work with what he had and just deal with it. Behind the scenes shit happened, got on his nerves. He didn't get a center back, got on his nerves. Now with Rosenior is just gonna accept it. We could tell. Look at Jorgensen's playing. Tosin's been playing. Badiashila's been playing. These are guys that have all been liable for bad situations or bad circumstances in the team on the score. Like you could tell, like he's just willing to do whatever makes these owners happy and move on with it. Like he's at least with Maresca, us as fans got to enjoy some victories, some football, some more consistency. In big games like this, right, where we could win. But with Rosenior, we're kind of giving that up just because Rosenior will be okay with whatever you give him and he won't complain.
But I feel like at some point, if Rosenior does, like, real quick, Chris, or Ahmed, if Rosenior does achieve our goals, right? So say, I don't know, say
which I hope he does, by the way.
Yeah, say we get top 4.
Yeah.
And say we get to the, I don't know, say we get to the final of the FA Cup, right? So that's a semi-final of the Carabao Cup, a final of the FA Cup, top 4, Champions League, Champions League knockout rounds or last 16. I guarantee Rosenior is going to be like, at the end of the season, he's going to say, I played Badiashile, I played Tosin, I played Fofana, I played Chalobah. You, like, behind closed doors. Like, in public, he's never going to say that because he's a very, like, he pumps his players up, right? But behind closed doors, I guarantee you he's going to say when it's time to do like an end of the year assessment and planning for next year, I need this, and this. You see how I play, how my style is, right? You're familiar with it at Strasbourg. You've seen me start to implement it here later in the season. I'm not saying that's a good style. I'm not saying anything like that, but I'm just saying you see what he's trying to do and how he's trying to put his stamp on the club and how they play. And then he's probably going to say, these guys can't do it. Can you give me somebody that's better than him? They might say no, and he might say, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me. Like maybe I've shown enough to get a lower level Premier League job where I can at least not be micromanaged. We can actually go out there and buy people that can buy alcohol in the US, right? People that are above 21. I just don't think I don't think we're an attractive club from a player perspective and from a managerial perspective anymore. We don't pay big money for wages. You don't pay big money for wages. You don't attract top talent. You don't attract top talent. You don't attract top managers.
Yeah, I agree. But this is where, again, this is where the whole problem lies, guys, right? In terms of, like, I look at Rossini right now. I'm like, we're making a lot of, like, good and reliable stuff about, in terms of, like, Maresca and excuses for him.
Sure.
What's to say the same is not happening for Rosenior? Like, obviously today, tactically, he
will
up, right?
I think it will. I certainly believe it will. He'll get fucked over by the transfers.
Yeah, and he's already been fucked over. Like, if you're being honest with each other.
But at least Rosenior won't complain about it. He'll just accept his fate. That's the vibe I get from him.
Well, for now, because we thought the same thing with Maresca, right? Remember, everybody said
Maresca's Italian. I never thought that. I thought you could piss him off at any point, man.
No, everybody thought he's a yes man. Yeah, everybody got pissed that he's a yes man.
Not a yes man, bro.
Yeah, and then even with Poch, like, if this is my thing, like, it's like being in a relationship.
Poch is fiery too.
It's like being in a relationship.
It's funny because people think just because they accept the job, they're going to be yes man. I told you, bro. Like, I think Maresca at the beginning was willing to accept the conditions, and then, like I said, like any person, like any self-respecting person, he won. Yeah. He's like, okay, I'm a winner now. I want to achieve things.
Yeah,
like
things change, man. Like if you're in a relationship, or you, like, all of us have that one friend that's always breaking up with somebody, right? They're always breaking up with a girl, and you're like, and they keep telling you, oh, they had this problem, that problem, and you're like, nah, man, the problem is you. Like, you are the reason why all these people keep running from you. That's what I think our club is. I hate to say it because
It's true.
we're not, because the league isn't.
It's
agree.
true,
The
but at the
league
same
isn't that
time,
great.
the terms and condition thing, I'm a little bit. I understand the terms and conditions thing a little bit, yeah. And I want you guys to hear me out, right? Sometimes when I sign a contract, for example, I've signed a contract, right, KG, right? I've agreed to those terms and conditions over a certain amount of years. From their perspective, they're like, you signed these terms and conditions on a 5-year deal. So you have to accept it. Now, again, I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, right? In this way, obviously, in this case, we know it's wrong, right? But from their perspective,
Clear Lake's strongest warriors.
no, but the reason why I bring this up is this is where I kind of like have a slight disconnect with the managers and like the intro. I'm like, guys, you know that if they're probably telling you in like discussions and meetings, if we do this XYZ, right, it doesn't matter, bro. You are gonna. This is the code we follow. You've signed it for X amount of years. We're not here to increase your power or anything of the sort.
Right, I get that, but at the same time,
And that's where.
What me and Arsene are saying, Ahmed, is that just because you sign up to that doesn't mean that things don't change, right? The beginning of the season, everybody was like, "This is Liverpool's season. They got all these big signings. They're gonna walk the league." And you know what? Throughout the course of the season, expectations change, right? And especially if you've shown some aptitude, you've shown some ability to actually like do good things. And I'm not saying, we'll find at the end of the year. Like I always said, I'll judge ROSENIOR at the end of the year, but I always judge Chelsea managers underneath this new model with a little bit of a curve, just because we're not giving them the best ingredients to make a cake with. We're basically asking them, like, go out there, make top 4 with these center backs, with Trev and Fofana, and then if it's not Trev and Fofana, it's 2 20-year-olds and Josh and Sar. And if it's not those, it's Tosin and it's Badiashile. So it's like pick your poison. So you've got to work. I get it. Like, you sign up for it, so you can never say I wasn't told X, Y, and Z. But things change, man. Like,
I agree. KG, the viewpoint you're saying, and everyone here, I agree. This is not in terms of business and some stuff. Of course, situation changes, but from their perspective, this is like working in retail, bro. Okay, they telling you you're a sales associate. You're a sales associate, bro. That's it. We're not trying to make you into a manager, into
There's
a
no
PSC.
management training program in Ahmed's retail emporium.
In this example, I'm using my old school stuff. I'm using my old school stuff here.
Arthur gets a job. That's the episode.
Maybe look, Arthur's got a nice shirt on. He's got a little cardigan.
Yeah.
Arthur can't get bumped up to manager in training. Like, he's just kind of
no. But they don't want that, bro. They don't want that, bro. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I think for me, listen, guys. This I think this generally everything we all know the truth about this club. The issue I've always had is just that, this is a dark purgatory, because the league, in terms of like, again,
purgatory, bro.
It is purgatory.
You're gonna start getting me to play Yu-Gi-Oh again, bro.
Bro, you need to, because the reason why I say this, you can say purgatory, you can say the shadow realm, you can say whatever you want to use in terms of it, because we're never gonna move forward because of the signings we're getting. Because we're getting Quenda, Emegha, and Selmino's coming back. Sal's already back here now, and Penders. So nothing's gonna change. Nothing's changing going forward.
We're gonna lean on that pipeline.
I don't know what manager. Like, I don't even trust this squad.
I don't even know. The thing is, right now, guys, I don't know how do we get out of the hood. Right now, bro, we're deep in the now. Right now,
we're in Chirac. What you saying? We're in Chirac, bro.
They're going to the block.
Bro, you know what it is? This is like, listen, this is reminding me. You know what this is, Marshall? I'm going to give you an example here. This is like when I was living here, back in my younger days here, until I was like 21 or 22, no, not until I was 18, until I was like 0 to 18, when I was living in the hood, bro, yeah, or the ends in the UK, as we call it, yeah. You know, bro, yeah, you can't leave the house at a certain time. The freedom isn't there for you, bro. People. You know what I mean? That is what it's like at Chelsea right now, bro. Yeah. This is what it's like at Chelsea. I don't know what the freedom's coming. At least then, I knew when I get to 18, I'm free. I can make it. You know what I mean? But there's not. Where is it, bro?
The problem I have, right, is that like I by the way, I agree with everything you guys have said. I think I believe in an ideal world, right? And I shouldn't even say in an ideal world. I believe the model could work. I think the problem with the model is that rather than, spending big money on one player of quality or two players of quality and then getting 3 or 4 youngsters up and coming to the pipeline, they go for bargain bin Walmart center aisle pricing or deals on name players, I guess you
get
could
that
say
great.
that.
They get that great value, bro.
They get that great value, 8 cups instead of just 2 type shit, and then get 8 youngsters down the pipeline because they save money. That's the problem I have. Like, cool, that pipeline might be great. Penders might be amazing. Anselmino might be world class. All this shit might be maybe whatever. But the problem is that then that doesn't attract a manager. Because if things went smoothly with Maresca, where internally, because it's not even just the directors, it's also what's happening internally at Chelsea that's an issue for the any manager to come in here or any coach. If they had kept Maresca, and let's just say in a hypothetical world, right? And you don't have to believe this or not. I thought it was possible, but he gets top 4. Maybe we win a trophy, right? Maybe whatever. You keep that success. Other managers, I'm sure, and their agents are going to look at Chelsea. It's a good opportunity for you to have a long-term project. They're going to back you with players of good quality that you just got to coach, and you can do this. You are who you are for whatever reason. You're in this place. Like, I think eventually the pipeline of managers was going to be there too. Good managers. Yeah. It's just the actual project, the way that we recruit players is fucked up. It's not good for attracting or having a sustainable project, because managers do want long-term, like you can't sit here and tell me that no manager looks at how Pep has a long-standing tenure. Arteta has stayed at Arsenal for 5 years now. Look at Simeone, how long he's had a job. You don't think managers want that long-term sustainability? I don't got to worry about a job ever. I'm settled. I'm good here.
I think those are the anomalies, though. Like, you look everywhere else across Europe, like those are crazy numbers in terms of a tenure at one club and in one go. I think the problem
but there's bigger
the problem with
managers.
The problem with the managers that we're going to attract, I don't think we're going to stop attracting good managers. I think, and this is going to be telling with what happens to Maresca when he gets his next move and where he goes. If he goes to a Man City, we're a stepping stone club.
Yes, I think that's the thing is we're not even like a good stepping stone club right now.
True, yeah.
I was thinking about this, we're like a worse version of Leipzig and Dortmund. Think about it, Marshall, Like, at least with Leipzig and Dortmund, bro, they have they have a few star guys, and then they have old men. We're doing the opposite, bro. We're doing the reverse. You know what I mean? We've got a few star guys and a lot of young players.
By the way, as for like the model and whether or not it can succeed, I agree with Marshall. It can succeed. Our problem is that everything is wrong with it. Like, in terms of the people we have in position, I look at 3 areas. One, the sporting directors. They don't recruit well enough.
100%. Yeah,
that's for one. Number 2, the players we actually recruit, again, they're not good enough. So that's a problem with the players. Number 3, I look at the managers. The way this is meant to work is you're developing players. Well, with what Scott mentioned earlier about Rosenior and Maresca, by extension of what he did before, being a coward and leaving the Tosins and the Badiashiles on when you've got the Achimpongs and Sars that need the minutes, but they don't get full 90s. So the managers are cowards. It fails on every single level. You can't develop players. You don't recruit well enough to begin with, and then your managers are spineless.
And that's the thing, right? Like, uniqueness, and JC kind of hit it on the head. Like, Ahmed, I think we're a lot closer to Brighton than we are to those teams you mentioned. Because even Brighton, for example, like Graham Potter was like cooking under Brighton, right? And then he comes to Chelsea and it all capitulates. The step was too big for him. We all know that, and it's broken him since. De Zerbi came in and took Graham Potter's chain and made Brighton like a little scary. Not gonna lie, made Brighton a little scary for a little bit for a lot of teams. He was a lot of people's bogey team. So to an extent, like there are good managers that maybe aren't like the Enrique's, but even Enrique was interested in the project. The reason the rumored reason he turned us down was because we weren't willing to, scrap Mudryk and scrap Nani Madueke.
No, we turned him down.
We turned him down because we didn't want to do that.
The one who rejected us was Nagelsmann.
Nagelsmann rejected us, but I remember Enrique wanted other wingers, and we were not willing to do that.
Yeah, he wanted, broadly speaking, he wanted transfer control, but the primary area of concern for him was the wingers.
The thing is, big up to Lola. So, Marshall, do you remember when the initial reports came out about RB Leipzig? Do you remember, this is do you remember when Bowley came to club, the RB Leipzig, you and I, you can actually go, guys, this is one of the few I would encourage people to go watch, because I wasn't doing anything mad on that one, because I was actually being objective at the time. So that's 3 years ago.
The good old days.
The good old
days of Ahmed. Before this Ahmed.
All right, mate. All right, mate. Listen.
Go ahead. The evolution.
But like the...
Go ahead.
So the reason why I bring that up in particular is because at the time I was happy, unironically, for them to do a good version of the RB Leipzig model, right? Where you go through all these you go through like what's it called, at the time it was Strasbourg into Chelsea. You bring in some of these younger or very the top diamonds in the rough, whether it would be like an Olise at the time, all these guys, and you put them into the team, right? And then yes, you suffer for maybe a year into them getting out, maybe you compete for that first year, remember? And then the second year you start cooking. The problem always became, and I've always said this before, is that we've deviated quite heavily away from that structure. That is what's happened. The club deviated from that, bro. Right? If you look at what we did in our first January window, when we brought in the likes of Madueke, the likes of Mudryk, the like of all these guys here, rightly or wrongly, we can cook these guys for what they are right now. But at the time, these guys were top talents, bro. Barring maybe Olise was like a triple star. Okay? Those guys were still good, up and coming quality talent. The problem has become, you look at those signings that we made in terms of the hype, the quality, the stuff they've done, and then the guys that you're signing out now, it's completely different. I think JC's talking about Brighton, but can I be honest with you guys? Brighton is not a good side anymore. I hate to break it to people.
Well, not with this new manager. No.
So the reason why
it's their recruitment system as well. Their
recruitment, just like how ours is looking this season, has declined too. Like this season, like it's been like I like you guys know I listen to this podcast. It's called Libero. Tune into that. It's a great podcast. But one of the guys that goes there is like a Brighton guy that goes to the Brighton games. Essentially, he reports on them, and he was making the point: the Brighton fans aren't happy. They're tired of this. There was even a report that came out recently in the Telegraph where they were like, the Brighton feel they've gone too deep into data analysis situation for players. So
I also think they failed to recruit in certain positions because like
they're relying on a 36-year-old Danny Welbeck.
Yes,
they're
so deep in. But I think the point about what I'm making here is that they became so deep in with the analytics and stuff that they've forgotten that it's not. It has to be a healthy balance, and I think at Chelsea that has also become the case, guys. It has. Like, we don't do eye test anymore at Chelsea. I promise you, bro. We don't do... We are going so deep in the data to look for certain things, yeah, that we're doing stuff on steroids. And when you do stuff on steroids, by the way, guys, it does not work.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs.
That's up to you. That's up to you, boys. You know, that's a choice that you guys can make.
Yeah. If you do drugs. I feel like kids didn't do drugs is...
But by the way, on the Brighton thing, and this isn't like I don't think this is the best example, but like,
sure.
I mean, you say about like the eye test. I think also what's missing is like intangibles, and you see that with like the mentality of our players, and like how some of them just aren't serious, and others are immature. I want to bring up an example of Brighton. I don't know if you heard about this. I think I saw Brighton accepted a bid for Dunk from Forest, didn't they?
Yeah.
They accepted a January bid for their club captain.
Oh.
And everyone's fuming at that.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, I think to an extent, like, Brighton, they were recruiting some good players, but I feel like over the course of time, like they've lost focus of what positions to recruit. Like
They had to re-sign Pascal Gross.
Mitoma has been so they got rid of Pascal Gross,
they had to re-sign him.
They didn't cash it on Mitoma soon enough.
Now he's
there.
They didn't cash it on Mitoma, and now he's like washed.
They didn't cash it on
Baliba. Value. Baliba, I don't know what happened to him. I think that United
he's cooked. He's had a terrible season.
He's been mid, bro. Last season he wasn't as bad.
I blame Griggs, bro. I blame Griggs. Griggs tried to compare him to Caicedo, and that's what I'm down for him.
My days,
for the kid.
See, I'm not the only one with bad takes, bro. I'm not the only one with bad takes. But like, it's just like you look at some of the recruitment too. It's similar to ours, where we're like, bro, this is now the third season in a row we've neglected to address the goalkeeper situation and the center back situation as well. Like, it's been poor recruitment after poor recruitment. The fact that we went this summer and didn't even sniff for a starting center back is ridiculous. And Brighton's doing similar things in certain positions, in my opinion. So it's just like, I don't know. We say this, right? This football thing is easy to use your brain. You buy a club, then you buy top players, which equals winning, which also equals more trophies and attention. To an extent, like I want to say it's that simple, but I know it's more complicated than that because it's FFP, PSR, and all that bullshit. So it's like, yeah, well, what can you do? But yeah, I guess we'll end it on this, and I'll just say it outright. I think the leg died today. I don't think we're gonna win by 4 because we need 4 goals to go to the next round.
Bro, it's over.
I don't think we're gonna win by a 4-goal deficit. Maybe we bring it to penalties, but even then, you're asking a lot of these players. Both teams that have played the most amount of games in Europe.
We need a goal difference of +3, and our goalkeeper is Jorgensen.
So like,
and our defense,
4-0,
bro.
like, you know, we can't concede. We can't concede anything. We have to beat them by more than 3 goals.
The other thing also is that they don't have any games this weekend, right? They're not playing nonsense this weekend, by the way. They got the week off.
Yeah, their game got moved.
So I guess the question
guess what? This week,
just real quick, the question was, do you see any chance or hope in the next game?
No, because we also got Newcastle fucking midweek. We got Newcastle on Saturday, and I promise you, boys, that is gonna be a hard fixture for us, man. We are gonna be trench warfare, and I actually think we're gonna lose that game too. By the way, I'm gonna be honest with you. That might be an L coming. Because the way we were pressing in that game in the Parc de France, I don't know how we recover from that, bro. I'm just being honest.
Nah, I don't know if I'd go that far, but it's definitely.
I'ma keep it real. Listen, I'm never. Listen,
I think you're keeping it fake, but
Jurgensen can't recover from that. I don't think.
Nah, you're going to recover from that.
He got Kinski,
bro. I'm gonna be honest. Fofana and Tosin, I don't know. Fofana and Tosin, I don't know if you can. And Fofana and Chalobah, I don't know if they can play this weekend of the level of what they had to put in this game. Right, Kukwe definitely not playing. Kukwe is definitely not playing this game, so it's probably gonna be Hato.
That's fine. I'm fine with Hato.
That's probably gonna play. I don't know. It's probably gonna be Tosin and Barry Shield probably. It'll be like Tosin or Sarr or something like that's probably gonna play in this game. Gusto definitely playing, right? You know Enzo's gonna play. You know Caicedo gonna play, right? Santos probably might play Olavia. That might actually help us out a little bit because their midfield's a bit cheeks right now. And then the attack probably is going to be Palmer, maybe Garnacho, and what's it called?
You think Estevao? We see Estevao?
I'm a bit honest. Estevao he ain't around, man. Let's just keep it real, boys.
Is he back in training even?
I don't even know if he's even back in training, bro. Like I've seen what's it called? Cole in training, not Estevao. Let's keep it real, boys.
Breaking my heart, man.
I told you, bro. It's gonna be a tough night in the office, bro. It's gonna be a tough night at the bridge. I'm gonna keep it real.
Like after seeing today's game, because like Cuckoo looks like he's not fully at his best. I wanna do this to Cuckoo, man. Let's put him in the recovery chamber.
The hyperbaric time chamber, yeah, bro. Put him in the hyperbaric time chamber, bro.
You know what's funny, Marshall?
I don't think he's bad.
Like,
I just don't think he's not fit.
He's just gassed, bro. He's just
You know
gassed.
what's crazy?
So gassed. Yeah.
You know what's crazy, guys? I was thinking about this.
Please,
I feel
Infinite Athlete, come back and do this to Cucurella, please.
I feel like I'm having deja vu right now, bro. I feel like I've been in the same place before, bro. Like of us talking about going into a picture where it's like fucking mad tough, yeah. I mean, you had like a nasty. It feels like I'm having deja vu again. I swear to God, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, one of the only positives that you could take from all this is that you can look at it and be like, okay, well, at least now there should be zero excuse. So I said there should be zero excuse to not get UCL football because we're out of the UCL. So
yeah. Oh my God. I think that's the part that hurts me most too. Like, we did all that fight to get into a position where we had the away leg at the bridge or the second leg at the bridge, like get into a nice top 8 spot. Like, it was dramatic with Napoli and everything. And then I just feels like Potter again. Cause like I remember the 2 legs against Dortmund, we beat them and we were like, yeah. And then the next round, we just got completely ass to belt against Real Madrid. So it's just like, and it's worse because I think, yeah, we went further in that season. So like, we're in a round of 16 and this happens. Like, it sucks, bro. It sucks.
Bad, bro.
RSM, no. So we're knocked out too. You don't think anything's gonna happen in the second leg? Yeah,
Michael Jackson gif, put the gun down. You know what I'm saying? Just
Marshall, I'm contemplating.
You know, it could be a thing where, by the way, like we end up winning the game 2-1, and then you realize like, oh yeah, we definitely could have made it through this tie. We just threw the game away.
You know, Marshall,
the worst part too is that we have a bad record at the bridge, so that gives me even less faith. I don't know if you realize that we have the least they could do is grow a pair and try and win at the bridge. Yeah.
Ahmed,
you're gonna go to that game, or are you selling your ticket now?
I'm contemplating.
Ahmed's listen guys, Ahmed's
You're such a fraud. You are such a fraud. The fact that you said earlier today, RSM, he's saying some shit about the local fans. Look at this guy.
The thing is, like, the thing is, you don't understand. You don't understand. Like, the millisecond the whistle blew, Ahmed looked at me. He's like, "Yeah, I know about PSG at home now, bro." He literally, bro. Ahmed literally looked at me. He picked up his phone into the camera, and he's like, "Yeah, bro, I know about PSG at home."
I am not. Marshall knows how I get my tickets, by the way. I'm not a scalper, I promise you.
No, he's not. But like, it's just funny because like you were so set to go to that game.
You know how much it cost me to get this ticket, by the way? 73 quid. That's the same amount I paid for Liverpool.
73 quid is nothing, bro. Look, 70. He's complaining about 70.
That's less than what I paid for Crystal Palace.
Yes.
Oh, that you rude. You know what? That's his own fault, by the way.
It was worth it.
That's his own fault.
That's on him.
Listen, 2 W's from me, all right? You know, that's what I'm saying, bro. So I got to see a home win and a away win, all right? So, hey.
But that's not with Maresca.
Yeah, just not with Maresca. Actually, not with Maresca. That was in UCL and Club World Cup, though, I said. Oh, man. All right, I guess we'll wrap it up here. Ladies and gents. Actually, I should look for someone to raid. Actually, I forgot to do that.
While Marshall does
any
that,
final thoughts?
guys, man, listen, the streets keep getting darker and darker, lads.
What the fuck?
This guy in the streets, bro. Every day the streets.
Yeah, I was gonna say the streets again.
The streets are
Every
getting
day the
darker.
streets, bro.
You know, listen, streets. Let's just say I'm gonna be having fun this Friday, man. But it is what it is, man. Big up to the man. Tune into AEW as well. Revolution pay-per-view this Sunday with me. If you want to do, man. Gosh. We're gonna be watching some real hoops. You know what I mean? If you want to see some real, wrestling, man. Other than this nonsense that they call football, man. You know what I mean? You know, Chelsea's making me lose love for the sport, man. I don't even I've been watching. I don't
blame you. Don't blame you. It's tough. Bro, this is how I felt under Potter, to be honest with you.
Bro, it's been like it feels like no, but like I feel like it's been like a continuous thing, bro. You know, it feels like season after season, bro. Like I'm getting broke, I'm being broken down by what I'm seeing, and there's no light at the end of the tunnel, bro. That's what it is.
That's
You know
not
what I
true
mean?
though, because
What
like
was that? What was that? What was that? Wait, what was
that?
that? What was that Ange quote where he's like, "I think it's a light at the end of the tunnel, but it's just an oncoming train."
Bro, it feel, I'm gonna be real. People,
No, I swear that was an Ange quote. He's like, I feel like I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and then it's just an oncoming train.
bro, you know what it's like? It's like being, you know, you guys know I'm a civil engineer, right? So one of the things that I did, one of the things that I do that I did earlier when I was doing what's it called, my what did they call it? Like, you know, you land on the job, right? So like a 1 year internship essentially. I did that with TFL guys, yeah, and I was doing underground. So that means that, you know, they do underground tunneling and everything of the sort. And you know, in the underground, man, when you're tunneling, bro, there's when it's dark on the other side, bro. You know, there's the lights obviously where they're doing the stuff initially, but when they start using the machine that does the turning for you, it's dark there, bro. That's what it looks like looking at Charles, bro. I feel like I'm just
By the way, the people saying we'd rather play PSG or Newcastle, we're gonna find out this weekend what that would have been like playing Newcastle or PSG back to back. So, you know, good luck for everybody who's like, yo, I'd rather Newcastle. It doesn't matter. We're about to face both back to back anyway.
I'm not feeling
we
good
gotta
about
find out.
either.
Yeah, we gotta find out either way.
Yeah, I mean, you did something against Villa, but we have a bad record against Newcastle.
Remember, Villa was twerking for us, man. They were just letting us in.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
They were.
Yeah, that shit, bro. That shit looked like Carnival in Brazil, bro. That shit was busting wide open. We could have scored, bro. We could have scored 6 on them, bro.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. It's not looking like that against
Newcastle's
Newcastle,
not gonna
man.
be like that. Yeah, Newcastle's not gonna be.
Newcastle's gonna need like 5, 6, 7 dates to get in, man. I'm gonna be real.
Oh, my
All right. On that note, everybody, big up, smash up the like button. I hope you enjoyed Casually Therapy, because that's what we're gonna call that now, bro. From this point forward, it's Casually Therapy every day. That's what we need to recover from this season, man. So smash up the like button if you haven't done so already, please, because it helps out the channel's algorithm. You guys don't understand how much it makes a difference. So big up to every single one of you also who subscribed. I see that subscribe count getting higher and higher, and let's just keep that momentum going. Now that I'm back from vacation, there's no more any time off from here until maybe the summer. I'll be going at it hard, so pause. But so yeah, be sure to tune into the channel, subscribe, because there'll be more content here, and big surprises for the channel, big upgrades coming up for the channel too as well. So be on the lookout for that, and it doesn't happen without the support of you guys in the chat, the viewers, and also the members. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to look into the memberships. There's 4 different tiers starting at 99p. Again, 4 different tiers. The first tier starts at 99p. That is $1. So if you got $1, you can definitely be a member and use some of the cool emojis that we have. If you are a member right now, let's see those emojis, please, so some of the people that aren't members can see what we're talking about. So yeah, some cool Casually FC exclusive emojis you can use in the memberships area. So yeah, check out, because that's definitely one way to really help out the channel. And if you're a proper casual and higher tier member, we give shout outs at the end of every show to show the respects, and that's going to be to Lanray Sadiq, A. Soliman, EE, and Adrian. The rest of you guys who are members, big up to you guys as well. It helps us out tremendously. Check out the raid message here, guys. Copy and paste it. We're going to be raiding out to Chelsea perspective, because I know you guys want to keep talking about Chelsea. So if you haven't done so already, like I said, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you again potentially tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'm going to do like a quick little Chelsea hour and then get the hell out to band practice. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll be streaming more often. As always, guys, stay casual. And until next time, peace.